Eagles. Eagles.
And welcome in, everybody, to a Thursday edition of Birds 365 here on JAKIB Sports. I'm your host, Zander Krause. That's my co-host, John McMullen, back with you here for another 2-hour show, a Thursday edition as we get into Week 12 in the NFL. We'll have a deep dive into that Week 12 matchup, Eagles versus Cowboys this weekend. I think it's a good one, everybody. Don't go to sleep on it. Johnny Mac, how you doing on this Thursday morning, my friend?
Wonderful. Frustrated. That's the word of the day. Frustration. Everybody's frustrated.
Yeah.
8-2, number 1 seed. Best defense in football over the past 2 weeks. Everybody's frustrated.
Just dissect that a little bit, and from your perspective, in terms of, I think there's a lot of truth to they are 8-2 and they're winning a lot, and maybe as you say, we're all Eeyores. We got to all cheer up maybe and be happy. Or do you get more of the feeling of 8-2, but the problems are evident and we shouldn't look past them? Because whether we like it or not, I think that 23 season is, I don't know if you want to call it PTSD or, people just think, I think there are some people out there, and sometimes it's me as well, who think, man, there's too many problems in this team. This isn't as good as the record might say to you right now, or they're not as dominant as you would think from the record. What's your thought on it?
Well, you're always a step away. I mean, I think it's funny for people, I was the one pounding the table last season to say, hey, there's some issues here offensively. And,
right.
I got shat on typically, to put it mildly. Nothing new. They're trying to fix it. That's the part that people don't seem to understand. I mean, they want to fix it. They're trying to fix it. That's all they do. And they haven't been able to solve the equation. But I think typically people don't watch bad teams. It's not rare for players to not be on the same page. Players think, well, we should be doing this when things are not successful. In the Eagles, it's more individually because of the team's success, and that's better than losing all the time when you see the frustration boil over. And you can watch any of these bad teams and watch the body language when the quarterback plays poorly or when something goes wrong, sort of waiting for the other shoe to drop. Nick Sirianni mentioned that he was watching football because he's playing, on Sunday night, Monday night, you get to watch some other teams around the league, and he sees a bunch of teams that are waiting to lose instead of trying to go win, which I thought was an interesting point, and I agree with. So none of this is new, which is the fact that, they're actually slightly better in the passing game than they were last season.
Might not feel like it, but they are.
Yeah. So that part's kind of comical to me, but I'm not saying you shouldn't point to the issues. Of course, that's what they have to do, and that's what they try to do every week. But my overriding point has been maybe we overrated this freaking offense as a whole.
Yeah,
the constant, and I said, and we were talking yesterday just extemporaneously with BLG and Mike Gill, and I said, you know what? This offense isn't more talented than the defense, and it was BLG. I'll give him credit. It's the financial part of it. Well, they get paid more, so they must be better.
Yeah.
Well, they're not.
They're not in terms of an output, but you come on, John. I mean,
no, that's what I'm saying. You're talking in the past. I'm saying right now, if Ed and I did my top 25.
Okay. Well, if you're telling me that you think that the offensive talent on the team at one point in time, well, if you don't think it's now, fine. This was an incredible collection of offensive talent. Yes?
At one time. Not now.
And did they live up to their potential?
I say it all the time. This league moves incredibly fast. And it's a young man's game for the
Absolutely.
most part.
I get that part of it.
So when the Eagles hit on these young players like Quinyon, Quinyon Mitchell's an all-pro this year. All-pro.
Cooper might be
slam
too.
dunk all, but it's still time to go, but all-pro. Cooper DeJean, all-pro. Zach Bond playing at an all-pro level. Jalen Carter's actually not playing like Jalen Carter's. It's coming on, and he's getting better. And I expect it to get better as you get healthier. I had that shoulder problem, maybe a little conditioning issue. He's the most talented player they have on either side of the ball. And I've been saying that since they drafted him. Jalen Phillips now, big-time player. Jordan Davis having his best year. Moro Joma, you should take a lap on that one. That guy's unbelievable.
Yeah.
They're better. Not just because of Vic Fangio, because they have players playing at a higher level than the players on the offense. Even though the offense gets
yeah, I mean, the crazy part about the comment, as much as I would like to get in a debate with you about it, is that you're correct. My bigger question would more be, why is that on offense? Is it simply because players are just gotten worse? Like, that to me sounds insane. There's only one dude on there who's above 30. It's Dallas Goedert. Like, to me,
yeah, but Landon Dickerson is not healthy, or hasn't been
John,
healthy.
it's the style of offense that they're playing that has condensed everything and has taken the talent out of their most talented players and almost made it obsolete in some regards. I mean, A.J. Brown's on pace for 700 yards. You tell me A.J. Brown has dropped off that much? Saquon Barkley's dropped off that much?
Did they look like the same guys?
They don't. But this offense is also not the same offense they were running at one time. And this risk-averse approach has taken away a lot of what they've done. It's taken away a lot of the middle of the field. It's taken away a lot of asking your receivers to go and win you games, as AJ's expressed frustration with. They ran the ball 500 times last year.
They played the exact same way from week 5 to the Super Bowl. And those guys look great. This league moves quickly. And, whether it's and the better case scenario is injury. In the case of Landon, I think it's injury. In the case of Cam, I think it's injury. In the case of AJ, I think you have to hope it's injury. I don't know what's going on with Saquon. Maybe wear and tear. No obvious injury. Lane, injuries. I mean, this shit comes out. Todd Bowles was talking about it when, Todd Bowles, the great defensive mind in Tampa Bay, and they get schooled defensively. They have a really bad defensive week. And he said, this game will humble you. This game will humble you quickly. And there's this, and I talk about it all the time. You see it with Jair Alexander. They acquired Jair Alexander, and so many fans are like, well, this guy's an all-pro. Yeah, no, he's fucking not. He was. Not even close.
I guess part of it I struggle with is just that all of them could just have regressed, or it's this offensive scheme, it's the system, it's maybe the way the quarterback plays to some extent. It's all those different things.
Look, the system is the system. It's very conservative. That part is stipulated. I stipulate to that.
Does that make players, does it make them look worse on the surface? And then over time, you don't use something, John, it gets rusty. The players aren't as good right now. They don't.
Well, I mean, you could partially blame that, but I would say, if you're putting the blame pie out there and there's 100%, that's maybe 5-10%. That's a very small part of it, because they excelled in the same risk-averse offense last season, to a much higher level. Maybe not at the level people want, but to a much higher level, to the point that Devontae Smith has been the number one receiver on this team through. AJ was second team All-Pro last season, even though he had the same limitations.
Yeah. He had 1,100 yards, I think, and he missed 4 games.
Exactly. There's no way anybody can look at it. I love the guy. There's no way that anybody could look at him. The film doesn't lie. The eye in the sky doesn't lie. There's no way you're
going to step back down, in your opinion.
in certain levels, but not. There's some things he's not that. What's so confounding about Jalen Hurts? It's almost like you fix one thing and another thing leaks. It's like one of the big issues was couldn't handle the blitz. Now he's been lights out against the blitz, and now he can't throw against zone coverage. For the most part, generally speaking, very confounding player at times. I do think it's going to get better as they get down the stretch. One, lighten up schedule. Two, I think as things get in more high leverage situations, they will open up the quarterback run game a little bit more. I think that improves things. Yeah. I think they're just waiting.
They should be doing that for sure.
I think they're waiting to pull that trigger for more high leverage situations, and I think that will improve things dramatically. So I think better times are coming just from the lesser schedule and that mindset. But yeah, the mentality of this being, I've been saying it for a while. I'll give Mike credit for that one. Is like, comparing this team to some of the great offenses of all time is always, even when they were playing at a much higher level, was always ludicrous. It's never been at that level, never been close to that level. Individually, at times, when you're trying to get the sum of the parts has never been greater than the parts. Never. But they were all good players. Now you have a bunch of descending guys, maybe due to injury, hopefully due to injury. Guy like Cam Jurgens, hopefully he can get back. It was a concussion. It wasn't the knee, which is actually sort of a positive thing. I know people, because he's going to be back. It's not, he didn't leave because of the knee. It was a concussion. So he'll probably miss this week and be back. So hopefully he can get help. Landon's actually getting better. He's played well, but he's not played to his usual standard, and certainly early in the season.
Well, why is the sum of the parts never added up?
Well,
even if you're telling me right now it's not as good as it once was, I refuse to ever believe that this collection of talent at one point, not that long ago, was the best collection of offensive talent the Philadelphia Eagles organization have ever had.
Well, that might be true, but again, the conflation of the best the Philadelphia Eagles ever had compared to the best offenses of all time is different. Because that's rarefied air. Broncos, Peyton Manning Broncos, I always bring up the Rams, greatest show on turf, the Randy Moss Vikings, teams like that. There was never that explosive, just come at you in waves type of offense. And that has to do with the style of quarterback play. It's just not. You can't be one, even if you have a 2,000-yard rusher, you can't be one of the greatest offenses of all time without the other part as well, and that's the explosive passing game. You can't, and they've never been a high volume passing team, and they won't until they change the style of quarterback, if they ever want to change the style of quarterback. But and I'm not advocating that, because there's no reason to do that. You can win games. Look, if people don't want to accept you can win games in other ways, you're going to have a tough time convincing them. But the Eagles do it every week. They shouldn't be able to win this way, but they do.
They certainly do. It's weird. I didn't want to start here, but sometimes you get started a show and tangents happen. I love it. John, one other thing on this note before we get into the daily updates, we'll get into the injury report. We'll start to look at this Cowboys-Eagles game. A lot of good stuff. We're not gonna spend all of our time here on the drama. I see some people in the chat saying, by the way, thanks everybody for being here. Hit that like button. All right, drop your comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Deshaun Jackson, John, I know you didn't see the video, but it is making the rounds. I had like 10 Eagle fans DM me it yesterday. I'm like, holy crap, a lot of people must be interested in this. But he spoke on Jalen and AJ and what sounded like he said there was something bigger than football there with their relationship. Yeah, he compared it to a situationship that he's had in the past with the quarterback, and he says that's all I'm going to say on it. But it's very clear something.
I'm gonna drop a bomb and leave, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Exactly right is what he did. Any reaction? Any response?
My reaction is Deshaun's a head coach now. He should stop doing that stuff. But that's my first reaction. But look, I've said it pretty consistently. They're not as close as they once were. Now, Deshaun is closer to AJ than I am. So if there's something personal, first of all, that's none of my business. Second of all, I've sort of attributed it to different stages of life. AJ's got young kids. Jalen got married. This happens. People in their own lives will say, hey, you got your buddies. And
shit, me, I don't see my buddies anymore. I work all the time and, all that. I get
exactly. It happens. It happens to most people, and you grow apart a little bit. That doesn't mean you don't like them or you don't, hate them or whatever. But it's certainly become more of a business relationship over the years. Again, if you, that's kind of intimating something sinister almost. I don't know. If it is, I don't know anything about it. Jalen spoke yesterday. He got some of the frustration questions. What I was kind of surprised because nobody looks at it from his side. So I threw it out there, his side. I asked him, these are all questions about people frustrated with the offense, basically. And
I heard your question. It was a good one.
And I said, you personally, do you get frustrated? And I expected him to completely shut it down. And he, but he did. He's been more willing to give answers because I think he knows he's got to be more, whatever term you want to use, more present, more, showing an obvious instead of just doing the t-shirt slogans. So, it basically said becomes with the nature of it. Everybody's going to have an opinion. I've got respect for those things, but ultimately we're here to do the same thing. So it's about the pursuit of that, which is the winning part of it. And I've always encouraged others to work together. I thought it was a decent answer, but it also was, by him answering it, was a confirmation. Yeah, that he gets frustrated too. I think nobody looks at him. Maybe he's frustrated that he's got a bunch of people talking out of school, and saying, what the F? All we do is win, or at least at a higher level than everybody else. But And I get the people because I'm one of those people. Well, I'm a big margin of error guy. You always want to increase the margin of error. But that's secondary. That's secondary to actually winning the game. And by no means are they going to. Am I saying they're going to win the Super Bowl? But they're in a better position than anybody else to win another Super Bowl. They are now the leaders of the pack. They got the inside track in the NFC. If they win this weekend, they put the NFC East away before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
I mean, they can wait for guys to get healthy. A lot of it, Lane, we still have to see. If he doesn't come back, that's going to make things more difficult. A lot of things can go wrong. But the 2023 people, look, man, their defense is too good for that to happen. It's too good.
I know, just people look at it as the offense isn't good. But John, the other thing Deshaun said, and I do want to just ask you more about like what he said. He did say about AJ, it does look like he gives up on routes. And when you do bring attention, when you do go to Twitch, when you do go to social media, like you got to be on your fucking game, man. And he's like, I don't think AJ's been on his game to that point. And hey, it's something we talked about in this opening segment. Has AJ lost a step? Is he unenthused? Is he out of does he not care for this offense anymore? Does he simply want out? or is Eeyore, taking his way to the field, and that's maybe affected him a little bit. But that's the other comment Deshaun made about AJ seemingly giving up on some routes and some of that stuff.
I got to stop the Eeyore stuff, but yeah, Deshaun's been in that same position. So
I think Eeyore applies to the whole freaking team and fan base.
Well, that's what I said. The only guy having fun is Jordan Davis. He's having a ball, man. That guy's happy all the time.
Looks like they're having fun, man. All the video clips that the locker room puts out and stuff, it's all defense.
Yeah, Jihad Campbell they had an old school.
Even Jalen Carter. I mean, he pulled up his basketball too. It was hilarious. Good video, but
well, the social media team's a little bit different. They aren't, we're a little bit different because we're the enemy, so to speak.
Yeah, right.
But,
I got you.
From the standpoint of Deshaun, look, I mean, he's an NFL high-level wide receiver. I don't know. I don't see it, but it's not to say it isn't there. I tend to subscribe to Oxum's razor. He's just not playing well, more to me, for whatever reason. And that's the more important part. Maybe it is because he's frustrated or depressed or, is sick of being in this offense. I will say I don't, I've long crossed, and I said that yesterday, and I said it a couple of times. I've long crossed the demarcation line that this is the last season of AJ Brown in Philadelphia. I don't think this is tenable any longer. Now things can change. They can go on a run and win the Super Bowl, and everybody's back happy, and they make up, and yada yada yada. But if things continue to go this way, and even where each week people are questioning the routes, I've been here with guys like Deshaun and Randy and all these great receivers, and everybody goes down that route because every receiver in the end, it's like if you put that ISO camera on them, there's going to be routes where they give up because either they're not the progression or, maybe it's a shitty throw and they're on the field. They know they can't get it. So it looks to the fan on TV like, why are they giving up? Well, they're giving up because there's no chance, and holy hell, they're going to catch the football. But yeah, it's tough for me to talk about effort, but what I can talk about is production and how he's playing. He's playing nowhere near what he typically plays like. So to me, the bigger question is why. Hopefully it's because he's banged up. And the reason I say hopefully, because then you can get healthy and get back to the level you were before. If the injuries have taken something from you, that's the worst case scenario, because then you're just not the same player. As I said, this game moves very quickly. And if I'm doing this year and not previous seasons, not leaning on previous production, previous demonstrated performance, this season, AJ Brown is no longer one of the best players on the Philadelphia Eagles. And he used to be number one. If you pretend everything else didn't exist and you just look at this team, he's not playing at that level. And either is Saquon. So, I mean, and those are arguably certainly your two biggest playmakers, but because people tend to pay attention to skill position players more than offensive linemen or defensive linemen or the guys doing the dirty work, those were perceived to be your two best players, and they ain't playing like your two best players. And anybody who's denying that is just, trying to make excuses for players they like. basically.
Fair enough. John, let's move on, brother. Good commentary on that. A lot of people wanted to hear the comments on that. I do want to put that to bed for the day. Let's move into the update, John, from yesterday. Yesterday, you were down at NovaCare. The Wednesday in the week is always a big day in the week as you get ready for a Sunday game. Jalen Hurts spoke. Nick Sirianni spoke. And then you got the first look at the injury reports for the week. Cam Jurgens and Lane Johnson listed, John, as DNPs, did not practice yesterday. And then a couple other limited guys. We'll get into the Cowboys report as well. I did look at it. I'm not sure if you saw that. John, your thoughts yesterday on the injury report and just where we are, just the update on the team as we get ready for the Sunday game.
Yeah, well, they're going to be likely without, 40% of their offensive line. So that's always a concern. I mean, I expect the Eagles to put Lane Johnson on injured reserve before the game because if he is going to be back in 4 to 6 weeks, you want this to be game number 1 on that sort of list. So I think that's coming, and concussion protocol is just more difficult to get through in 1 week. So perceptions is it'll be Brett Toth at center, and he's played well in the opportunities, surprisingly well and very well. So I don't know if that'll be a typical downgrade because Cam hasn't been playing up to the level that he typically does because of the back, because of the knee, now the concussion. And, Jalen Phillips is on there as limited with a shoulder, something to keep an eye on with his injury history, but he's been tremendous. So no indication he was in the locker. He's going to play. So, he's just dealing with something. And then they started the practice window of Miles Hinton because Lane's is not going to be here for a while. So you need backup tackles. And Miles gets the nod over Cam Williams as the rookie tackle. So you need that body. So I expect him to be put on the 53 by game time.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see Cam Jurgens. So is your feeling then that Cam will not play in this game?
No, I don't think he's going to play. Well, if he's not there today, which is practice is about 2:15, and he's definitely not going to play. Small chance. Some guys get through it in a week, the protocol, but the percentages now are really slim that you're going to get through it that quickly.
Yeah. So let's see. So John, going into the Cowboy game, you have no Lane Johnson, potentially no Cam Jurgens. That's a tough thing to overcome. And I know the offense hasn't been necessarily the reason we're winning games right now. But still, when you're trying to get an offense going, when you're trying to get a run game going, losing those two guys is definitely something to keep an eye on. It's definitely going to increase the challenge that we have Sunday. And by the way, I said it at the open of the show. I think Eagles fans are asleep on this game, John. They're all talking, oh, the Cowboys suck. It's going to be an easy. It's a bye week for the Eagles. I'm like, you're playing in Dallas versus a great offense. As you've talked about, John, we've had 2 great weekends of defense, 2 great weeks of defense, but how much was that aided by the weather? So maybe we got to see that defense a little bit more to know, truly where they stand at this point in the year. I wouldn't go to sleep on this game with those 2 guys out. Could change some things. We'll see how that shakes out. John, moving over to the Cowboys real quick, just to give the update for everybody. They're actually pretty healthy right now, John. They got DeMarvion Overshown back last week. They had a bunch of players limited yesterday. The 2 most notable players that were limited were Dak Prescott and Tyler Smith. Schottenheimer did speak and say Dak is going to be good to go. It's a minor hip thing. He got hit in the Monday night game. And then Perrion Winfrey returned as well. So, and he looks like he was a full participant. It was estimated yesterday because they had the Monday game. But they look actually pretty healthy, the Dallas Cowboys coming in, John. It might be one of those weeks that maybe we don't win the injury battle this week.
The Eagles are going to probably be without 2 players. That's still pretty healthy now. It's the same grouping, which is a little bit more difficult. But at this stage, week 12, that's still pretty healthy. and we'll see how the Cowboys. Obviously, it's that year where you're trying to manage that time of year when you try to manage people through the week and get them to the game. So obviously Dak is going to play, but and they've gotten some guys back. Like Obershone is boy, he's gifted. Now he just got back, so I don't know.
First came back for I mean, I think it was a year ago. He tore his ACL, MCL. He like destroyed.
Yeah, he tore like every ligament, so that's a really serious injury. So I still have to see if he's the same type of player, but and then just the additions. I mean, Quentin Williams is a big time player, sort of like the Myles Garrett of defensive tackles, because he was on such a shitty team. I don't think people realize. So they got a big time player inside the team with Kenny Clark, who was in the Micah Parsons trade and is still a pretty good player. Not what he once was, but that's pretty good grouping. So they're getting better. Offensively, they're, they have the top passing offense in the NFL. They're number 3 overall. I didn't realize till this week came up how good Javonte Williams has been in the running game.
He's been awesome.
So they have everything offensively. Good tight end. George Pickens is playing phenomenal.
Yeah, I did not. I mean, I knew George Pickens could play. I did not think he could be this guy.
Well, because in Pittsburgh, it was like they only let him run go routes and be a deep threat. Now and part of that silver lining, CD Lamb was hurt earlier in the season. They had to use him more like a well-rounded receiver, and he's delivered big time player, and really gifted. So offensively is not the issue. Defensively, they were near the bottom of the league. They still are, but they're getting better. They not only got Quentin Williams, but they got Logan Wilson on the trade market, who's athletic. At linebacker, Obershone's back. Their safeties, had been injured. Malik Hooker's back. He's their best safety. Deron Bland's playing well at corner now after having some up and downs. Now he's a guy you can beat if he can with the Eagles passing game. He's gonna gamble, and he's that type of corner. But they're getting better. So people are going to look at them on paper and say 31st ranked defense, but they had the potential.
Yeah, they definitely got better
to be like at least middle of the road with adding Williams and Wilson and getting Hooker back. And
that Rebel kid, that cornerback.
They got Rebel back. Yeah. I mean, well, he's a rookie, but
I know, but he played well. And when they were, I mean, even I think it's even helped some of the other corners out there because Bland has come alive a little bit as well.
Yeah. Well, he's a guy who would have been a first round pick if he wasn't injured.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's similar to Obershone, who's, yes, they're back, but Obershone played like 30 reps and Rebel played like 19 reps. So, I mean, you have to see what they really are beyond just getting on the field. But talent-wise, yeah, those two guys make them a lot better as well. All of a sudden, you look at they got a bunch of gifted guys on the field defensively, and people should be more wary of that. Because one thing you can make fun of, I always say, you can make fun of Jerry Jones all you want. And that's who I should have tried to get. I should have tried to get our buddy John Machota. I was trying to get an Eagles guy yesterday, but
we had Machota for week 1.
Yeah.
I wonder if he can join us tomorrow. He'd be great.
Yeah, I'll check in. Obviously the game's down there, so he doesn't have to travel or anything. Yeah. But so we'll try to effort. We're gonna have Oscar Bujan on Voice of the Eagles in Espanol. So that's something to look forward to. But all of a sudden you look around, they got some gifted guys out there. I don't know if it's gonna click, but they got some gifted guys out there.
No doubt about it. Definitely got some gifted guys out there. Going to be an interesting game with some of the stuff that we just updated you on. And as John pointed out, that defense has gotten better. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see how they match up. Remember, this offense, John, is ranked down there too. So it's like which one wins the battle tonight? The shitty Cowboys defense or what right now on paper and
Well, here's a question.
Is the crappy Eagles offense.
I'll throw a question at you. Moving forward, who do you have more confidence in, the Cowboys defense or the Eagles offense? Getting better.
Getting better?
Yes.
I mean, it's hard to say the Cowboys defense, but I mean, if I was being fully 100% objective, I'd probably
I would say Cowboys defense.
Yeah, I'd probably take the Cowboys defense too. I mean, this offense is what it is at this point, as you've told me like 100 times, and it maybe took me 110 to be able to believe it. But yeah, that's what they are. I mean, they're not a very good passing team. They haven't been for 27 games. And right now they can't run the ball well. Offensive line's banged up. Lane Johnson now, Cam Jurgens, Saquon Barkley's not running the same. It just sounds so hard to say, but being honest, yeah, I think the Cowboys defense would be.
Yeah, I mean, you got Williams, addition, Wilson, Overshown, Rebel, Hooker. That's half your defense.
So how good do you think that Cowboy defense can be? Do you think they have a chance to make a late season push here and potentially get there? It feels far fetched, but
no, I think they could get to the 7 seed. Still a lot of football to be played. Remember, those bottom teams tend to, and the Cowboys, while they have to play the Eagles, which is a difficult game, if they can get this game, I mean, I would say if they can get this game, they're definitely in it. If they lose, this is a big game for them, much bigger game for them. If they lose, they're in deep trouble. And I'm not talking about the NFC East. They're not going to win the NFC East.
No,
I'm talking about just making the playoffs. If they win this game, they're in pretty good shape because remember, the rest of their division stinks, and the NFC West, Rams beat the Seahawks. The Seahawks, the 49ers aren't bought. They're playing each other. Somebody's got to lose. Same thing with the NFC North. When you look at those 3 teams right now, Detroit's not in the playoffs. Chicago's playing Detroit, Green Bay's playing yada yada. Somebody's got to lose. So they have the easier division with the Giants and the Commanders who have given up. I would say they have certainly a chance. Their season isn't over. And if they win this week, they're right in the mix.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Who do you think, John? Let me pull up this NFC standings for everybody so we can see kind of where we stand NFC wise. Let me pull this up for everybody to take a look at. And I want to hear from you, John, who you think, who here is a pretender and who here is a contender and who might fall off. Like if you look at the NFC, Eagles, Rams, Bears are winning the North right now, which is crazy. I don't know if anybody expected that. Yeah. Buccaneers are winning the South. Probably going to win the South, but we'll see. Seahawks, Packers, Niners. Do any of these teams you see taking a dip? The Lions are right on the outside looking in. The Panthers are right on the outside looking in. And then you have the Cowboys. I would say after the Cowboys I don't think any of these teams, Vikings, Cardinals, Falcons, Commanders, Saints, or Giants, none of those teams are opportunity to make it. And the Cowboys are probably 1 loss away or 2 losses away from them being completely out of the equation. Panthers, do you think they could elevate? Do you think the Packers, the Niners, the Seahawks could fall off? How do you see this NFC shaking out?
Well, I mean, contenders, very few. Actual contenders. To me, it's Eagles, Rams, maybe Seahawks, maybe Lions. If the Lions can figure things out, they got to make the playoffs first. Packers, boy, I think that Kraft injury hurt them.
Yeah, it did.
But I think the Laporta injury hurt the Lions. So I'm just looking at it. I mean, legitimate contenders. The group is shrinking. It might just be Eagles, Rams right now. And Nick Sirianni seems to have Sean McVay's number for whatever reason. So take that for what it is. But Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in the Bears. I'm honest. I think they're improving, but I don't think they're going to win that division. And if they do, they might make the playoffs. But they're sort of that team that jumps up for a couple reasons. One, they have a better coach. He's got their quarterback playing better, but they have the easier schedule. So they're going to be a little
Yeah,
bit
but here's what the
inflated.
Bears, John, like I kind of agree with you, and I liked the Bears coming into the season. I think me and you debated about Ryan Poles, believe it or not, in the offseason, but we did. Off-season talk.
Oh, well, he stinks. There's no change in that.
I
But
know.
go
I,
ahead.
I knew you would say that. Not my point though. But they're 7-3, so like they would have to lose a good portion of their games for even if they didn't win their division and the Cowboys wanted to get in. That's kind of what I'm trying to see here. They would have to lose a pretty significant portion of their final 7 games. Probably have to lose 4 or 5 of the final 7 in order to give Dallas a real chance. Because I don't think Dallas is going to win out.
Well, no, they're not going to win out, but things change quickly. Like the Bear, I don't know who they're playing this week, but I know who they're playing next week, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field.
Right. Who do the
Um,
Bears this week?
so they don't have. They're Pittsburgh. So, all right, now Pittsburgh's not great. Aaron Rodgers might not play, so that's a game they should win. But it's not like if they lose that game, bang, they're in trouble because they're at Philadelphia and at Green Bay.
Right. Right. So they could drop 3 straight and go to 7-6, and
Yeah.
now this thing looks way different.
Yeah. And now the Cowboys really have to win this game. This is key. They're in trouble if they don't win this game. So they're the desperate team and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, things change quickly in this league. And if you look at their schedule, I just pull it up. This is the Bears. It's Pittsburgh at Philly at Green Bay. Cleveland should be an easy one. Green Bay again in Chicago. So that's tough.
Yeah.
At San Francisco, that's tough.
Yep.
In Detroit. So while I said easy schedule, they got their easy schedule early.
I think the Bears might fall here. That's a lot. That's a tough schedule. 2 Packers, 1 Lions, 1 Niners.
Well, that's the thing. They already there's one bad team in that division, Minnesota. They already played them. They lost once. They won. And by the way, they should have lost last week to a terrible Vikings team. Should have lost. A miracle kick return gets him in a position to kick a field goal at the end of the game. And and McCarthy played awful. Should have lost that game. Are they going to beat the Packers? Are they going to beat the 49ers, the Lions, the Eagles? They might, but they're going to have to earn it. And that's a team I think that's going to fall off.
Interesting. What do you make of the West with the Rams, the Seahawks over there? Niners are obviously interesting.
Well, the Rams sent a match. Now, again, the game's in Los Angeles. Now, Seattle's a really difficult place to play. They still have to go there. But they looked good last week. Sort of sent a message, and obviously Sam looked poor, so everybody's on the he choked bandwagon. They seem to look, he struggles like all quarterbacks. This is amusing, I have to say this. He struggles with pressure. So did Jared Goff. Yeah, so did Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Like, I think it's elevated, though, when people don't like particular quarterbacks and they act surprised, like they don't handle pressure well. Like, to me, it's the dumbest conversation ever, because there's not a quarterback in the history of the NFL that handles pressure well. They may handle it a little bit better than other quarterbacks, but that's when they play their poorest, all of them. So it's kind of amusing. I have to point that out. But they have to figure something out because the Rams have a great pass rush. So sometimes styles make fights, and that's just strength of the Rams. So you got to figure it out to pass protect. To me, that's the whole goal of Seattle, or should be, because they have a good team. They have a good defense, good offense, but they have to figure out when they're playing the Rams, they got to figure out how to deal with that pass rush.
Yeah. Look at the Rams and the Seahawks point differential, plus 100, plus 101. John, who do you think wins the South, man? Bucks, Panthers.
Boy, that's a good one. I mean, I do not like the Bucks. I
You
don't.
haven't since the beginning when they were rolling.
Yeah, I just don't like them. But they have more, and it's funny because I like the coach. I like the quarterback. I think he's overrated, but I think he's good. But they're too. And this is funny because sometimes I defend the Eagles, sometimes I don't. I don't like off-schedule teams offensively. I don't like it because you can't count on
Who's off schedule that I know?
that. Exactly. I don't like it because you can't count on it from week to week. That's why coaches don't like it. You don't practice off-schedule offense. And now the Eagles have a better history of getting through with it than Tampa, but that's a big part of Tampa's formula as well. Well, they play shitty, they play shitty, they play shitty, and Baker makes a couple plays and they win a game. Like, I don't like that formula, which pretty much sums up why I don't like Tampa. But, Carolina is still in that trying to learn how to win stage. I don't know. I haven't spent a lot of time. I should spend more time watching some Carolina games.
I watched a couple. Bryce Young's
Um,
still alive a little bit, but I mean, to me they feel a little early yet. They feel a little fool's gold to me.
yeah, I don't know if the coach is, Bryce is getting better and that's positive, but I mean, I can't look at that team and say, but somebody's got to win that division. And I think it'll be Tampa because they have more of the history of going through it. They understand how to get there, but to me, they're not relevant in the playoffs. I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't like the way they play.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt about it. John, good stuff there. And real quick, I'll just scroll up, guys. The AFC this year is an interesting conference. Look at the top four teams: Broncos, Patriots, Colts, and Steelers. Right now, I mean, I don't think anybody would have expected that. Then you have the Bills, the Chargers, the Jags. The Chiefs are on the outside looking in. The Ravens are on the outside looking in. The Bengals are trash again. I mean, the NFL, John, for the first time, and maybe I should have seen this a long time ago. Boy, do I know what you mean when you say the product is getting worse. I mean, the NFL this year is just not that good. It's just not that good of a league this year.
No, and I think when it starts at like right now, if the playoffs started, Detroit's not in, Baltimore's not in, Kansas
Yeah.
City's not in. Now I think Baltimore's getting in because of their division. I think they'll catch the Steelers. Kansas City, I'm hoping. I'm hoping somebody keeps them down because I'm sick of them. But and then Detroit, I think will get in as well, but we'll see. I mean, I think that Laporta injury is big for them because he's their third down guy. But and I think Campbell made a mistake taking over play calling. But so there's no guarantee. But I'm not, as I said, I'm not in love with the Bears, and the Packers aren't as good as I thought they would be. Yeah, there's holes in every team. I mean, the Eagles are the best team. The Eagles are the number one team on the betting markets to win the Super Bowl. So
Are they right now the number one team to
yeah,
win?
and most of them, certainly. I get like 3 emails a week, and they were number one in all of them. So
It's the Eagles team, man. We are a funny team. We are a
um,
funny team.
but that stuff changes quickly. They only send them once a week, and it's not like it's dramatic, but it's funny. Like teams like Baltimore are pretty high, because people lean on what they perceive things are. But I mean, the Eagles are winning games. They, they have an easy division. They can set things up. They can make sure everything goes through Philadelphia, and when that happens, they go to the Super Bowl. Period. I mean, why not? Other than their offense is not pretty. but it wasn't pretty last year. Unless Saquon was hitting his head on the goalpost, and that's and the same things happened last year with Kellen Moore. They tried at the beginning of the season. Let's evolve this thing. Let's get some motion involved. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then they scale it back. Happens every year. It's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, it does. Everybody scratches their head, me included. All right, good stuff there, Johnny Mac. Good commentary on. You can see kind of how the conferences are laid out right now, guys. It's a little bit wide open. All right, but we will see what happens. And as John just said, I think that's the thing that makes me the most confident in the Eagles this year. And I just don't think the level of competition out there is all that good.
No, it isn't. Yeah, I mean, like the Rams are the one team everybody points to.
Yeah, man, they're good.
I'm like, they're good. They are good, and nobody loves Matthew Stafford. I was defending that guy everybody. He was saying, he sucks because he lost so many games in Detroit. I'm like,
well, he's part of the reason that I think wins are not a freaking quarterback stat.
Well, he is. You're right, but the irony is, like, now everybody's like Matthew Stafford MVP and Matthew Stafford this and Matthew Stafford that. He's not nearly the player he once was. He's not nearly the player.
He's playing at a high level right now, dude. But I hear you. I mean, I know he's physically. He's
not. And that's where Sean deserves some credit. Sean does do a great job of scheming things. And, my point is he's not going to beat you by himself, which he could. And it's sad. If he played with this kind of supporting cast in Detroit early in his career, he'd have like 3 or 4. That's how good he was. Like, he's not that player now. I just find it so ironic that, the same thing happened. I was talking about Peyton Manning being the best regular season quarterback of all time. I've never seen consistency like it. Probably never will again. But, he didn't win Super Bowls. And then he won a Super Bowl at the end of his career to make it 2. And it was the worst season he ever had. Worst season he ever had.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It kind of, well, whatever. I won't go down that road. But yeah, fair enough. The Rams are definitely a good team. John, good stuff there. We'll get into some other topics as well today. I want to talk a little bit about the defense coming in, how good they've been, and then going up against this Cowboys offense is different. Let's get to, is a good test. Let's get to some super chats here right now. Vitality says, the AJ Jalen stuff isn't going away. Thank you, D-Jax. Tea leaves say their personal relationship is strained, hard to remedy when your work relationship is also strained. This is life. We're all human.
All right. Got to read that again. AJ Jalen going away. Thanks, T-Jax. Yeah, DJ. Come on. You're a head coach now, Deshaun. Stop throwing bombs. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about that a lot. There are different stages of their lives. So that's how I compared it, and I think it's people can relate to it in their own lives. You got your buddies, and then you get married or you have kids and you don't have as much time and you grow apart. That's basically what it is. Now, if Deshaun has information on some kind of personal issue that sped that up, I don't have that. I guess it's possible, but hey,
I'm not a fan of speculating on that type of shit either. Like I have no clue if they're
not Rona Barrett. Don't know.
Yeah, and I also don't really care. I just care about how it's impacted the football field. I mean, if AJ and Jalen don't like each other, so be it. Here's Terrence. What's up, Terrence? Jalen probably lost respect for AJ. He keeps going to the media, and based on Hurt's personality, he probably don't respect that. Just because AJ is the only one talking don't mean he is right.
He ain't the only one talking about that offense, number one.
I'm of the impression that all of them hate the offense, including the offensive line. I could be wrong, but that's my
No, I wouldn't say that. The offensive line loves running the football, so
Well, they don't run the ball well.
I wouldn't say that. Yeah, but they like doing it. That's just the nature of playing offensive line. You're hitting people instead of getting hit all day, so they like it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Saquon, obviously likes it. So not everybody, but the receivers, nobody likes it. Nobody likes it. Why would they like it? I mean, and that includes lesser, Jahan Dotson. I mean, Jahan makes plays when he gets the rare opportunity. You think he can be a better receiver on a high volume team, even as a number 3?
But this is also why I struggle with hearing you say AJ's lost a step. Like, for example, we just talked about the Rams, and we talked about Stafford, and we talked about Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams and that team. If AJ Brown was on that team, the way they get receivers the ball, the way they scheme them open, I know you hate that term, but Sean does do a good job of it. The way Stafford,
that term.
no, but you think it's a little over, which I actually agree with.
Overrated.
I think you're right. It is overrated. But Stafford gets the ball to those guys. McVay has a great offensive scheme that relies on receivers getting the ball. Like, would AJ have lost a step if he was in a system like that? I have a hard time believing that.
Well, I mean, AJ put up numbers in this offense, but he's not putting up numbers in this offense now. He put up numbers in this offense last season. He's not putting up numbers in this. That's why I think it's something physical related. Or
John,
I would say, or I not think is the right word. Hope, I would think. Hope is the proper, because otherwise you lost a step, and previous injuries, like the knee most specifically, which was more serious than people realized, because they tried to hide it, has taken something from him. And that's the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario, he's just not the same guy. That's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, but you also, John, you made a comment on this show about 20 minutes ago when we talked about George Pickens, and you said explosive, but
young man's game, man.
In Pittsburgh, though, you were like, yeah, they only used him on go routes. They didn't really use him right. That's kind of how I feel like they're doing with AJ. They're not using him right.
Well, there's sometimes
you turn the clock back and to be 25 years old again, but he's 28.
Well, now we have hindsight where he's being. Now there's some guys you can only use that way because all they can do is run, and they're not good route runners, and they're not. And the perception is, how do you know? How do you know until it's tried? Well, they didn't try it in Pittsburgh, so I think it's fair to say that they didn't utilize him to the degree they should have utilized him to. Part of that is the quarterback issue. They've been dealing with quarterbacks, and they didn't have Aaron Rodgers last year. And they had struggles at that post Ben Roethlisberger the entire time Pickens was there. So part of it is the issues they had there. And certainly some of it was they didn't use him correctly. Now that you see him in an offense with a high volume passer who can do some different things and get him the football in different ways, and then CeeDee Lamb gets hurt. Same thing with Micah Parsons early in his career. They didn't want to use him as an edge rusher.
Yeah, right.
And then you're in Schitt's Creek, and he's our best option. Let's see if he can do it. And he does it. And all of a sudden you got something. So, I mean, I say that about George Pickens because they've done it, and he's demonstrated he can do it. And it is not, and this is going to shock people because we all say, it's almost become a default setting. It's Chase, it's Jefferson, it's AJ. Well, the best receivers in the NFL this year, in my opinion, are Jackson Smith and Jigba.
100%. He's a stud, that kid.
Puka.
Yep.
And George Pickens. Those are the three best receivers in the NFL so far this season. That's how good George Pickens has been. And by the way, if you look at, playing time in Jigba, 455, and Puka 399, he's been hurt. George Pickens has been out there for 572 reps because CD was out for a while. Like, I don't think people realize how good that guy's playing. Like, I have an all-pro vote. He's going to be on my second team all-pro team right now. Now, a lot of football to play, but my first team would be Smith and Jigba and Puka. But my second team is George Pickens, and then probably I'll lean on Chase because he's so gifted. But I mean, just this year that we're talking about this year and not talking about reputation
Yeah. Well, you know
and
who
part
else is in that combo then? If you're going just this year, Drake London.
he's had a great he'd be in the conversation. He's had a great season. Bad team hurts him, but he's had a great
Bad
season.
team, but I mean, I think he's got like
No,
800 yards already, six
yeah,
runs. He's playing really well.
he's definitely in the conversation. And part of it, with AJ is the style, and part of it with Jefferson is the quarterback. Believe me, if Jefferson had a quarterback, he'd be an all-pro, but he doesn't. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, keep an eye. That's going to be it's going to be interesting to see what Vic does with Quignon, because you got two to deal with this week. My presumption is he's going to put him on Pickens, so that's going to be a hell of a matchup because the CD goes in the slot so much anyway. So it'll be easier for him to travel with Pickens. That might be one of the funnest matchups of the year because that dude is gifted and Quignon is gifted.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. All right, John, let's get into the wait, we got a couple more super chats. Good commentary all around today. Here's Dirty Day. What's up, Dirty Day? Member for 15 months. That's a lot of time, man. Thank you, bro. I appreciate your support. He says people sleeping on Dallas are delusional. They have a top offense and their defense is getting better. Dak owns us in Dallas, and it's a must-win game for them. I expect a loss Sunday. I hope not, but I wouldn't be shocked if we do.
Yeah, well, I definitely wouldn't be shocked, and it is a much more needed game for Dallas, so they have the desperation card. But overall, the Eagles are the better team, so it would not surprise me if the Eagles won either. But if they do lose to Dallas in Dallas, it would not shock me at all.
How much better are the Eagles? You said they're a better team. I mean, this offense has struggled. We talked about them at the open, that they've maybe regressed to some extent all around almost. Defense is ascending, and we're going to get into this next, but, remember, their two best games have been the last two games, and the weather was kind of a factor in those games, as we've talked about maybe why the offense has struggled in those two games. How much better are the Eagles than the Cowboys?
Yeah, it's still pretty significantly. I mean, the Cowboys, it's all sort of like optimism because they brought in some new players. And maybe next year it is because the one Quinnen is phenomenal. I mean, he's going to be a good player for them. I don't know why. Who knows why the Jets do what they do. But that's a big time player. So, but Logan Wilson's like, all right, well, he's athletic and, you got to see Overshown, like I said, Rebel. These are all unproven commodities coming back from injuries. So there's some optimism there, but there's not, proven performance by any stretch of the imagination. So, whereas the Eagles, obviously defensively, they're out there every week doing it, and it's getting better and better. And that's the history of Vic Fangio. It gets better as it goes along.
Exactly right.
And it's going to get better. And Makuba's getting better. Some of the weaknesses are getting better. Makuba's getting better. Adore's getting better as they learn the scheme. So, and then offensively, again, for as much as we shit on this offense, and sometimes I get tired of it, they do have the knack for making big plays and big moments. And they do have the card to pull with the quarterback. You saw it a little bit last week with the quarterback draws. Like, it's almost like because you haven't done it, now it's back to being a surprise and off book. And people think you aren't going to do it, and then all of a sudden you pull it out, and it's very effective. So the offense is as bad as it seems from an expectation standpoint. I don't think it's as bad as people think it really is because of those expectations. They still have a knack for, and again, the red zone. Ironically, I think they're far more creative this year doing stuff, but the success hasn't been there. So they're so uncreative. It's
well, the amount of times they get to the red zone is one of the lowest in the NFL.
Yeah, but when they get there,
it's good, yeah.
And that's, when KP says it, people get frustrated. And I asked Jalen that question, because he keeps saying, hey, when we're on schedule, we're pretty good. And it's true, but they're not on schedule enough. And a lot of things come into that, and I tried to hone down the pre-snap penalty stuff is obvious. You got to clean that up. That's obvious. Takes no talent, as Nick Sirianni would say. That's obvious.
Yeah.
But the negative plays execution-wise, that's been the issue to me. And, how do you go about fixing them? And I asked Jalen that, and he gave a long answer. A lot of word salad involved there. But that's the issue. That's what they got to clean up. And how do you clean that up? Well, they're trying.
They're trying. There's no doubt. And you're right, because if they fix some of that stuff, then I think the 3-and-out number goes down significantly, and all those things start to click a little bit better. John, you talked about, real quick, I'll just give you guys the number as I just pointed it out. Eagles are number 1 team in the red zone this year still with 75%. Washington is number 2, Indianapolis number 3, Green Bay number 4, Buffalo number 5, Eagles sitting at 75%. But in my opinion, here's the kicker. In red zone attempts per game, Rams are 1, Indianapolis is 2. Eagles are 30th in the NFL, in front of only the New York Jets and the Tennessee Titans with 2.4 attempts per game in the red zone. So, again, they're good in the red zone, but that is, you don't want to be with the Jets and the Titans in anything, okay?
No, I mean, but that's the point. Like, they lead, they're a very weird team. They lead the NFL in 3-and-outs, and they also lead the NFL in red zone offense. Like, who does that?
I don't know. I don't know who does that.
Like, if you're bad, you're bad. Well, they're not bad.
Similar. They're 28th in attempts at 2.5, and they're second in converting down there with 72%.
Well, a lot of it is the run game and the quarterback run game. Like, that's what makes the Eagle, and not even the actual run game, the threat of the run. Like, that makes you such a better team in the red zone, because everything's condensed.
Yeah, right. It opens it up obviously a lot.
So that, to me, that the Eagles have always been a good red zone team with Jalen Hurts, and always will be. As long as he's got his athleticism and ability to do that. That's why they're so good in the red zone, because of the threat of the quarterback run game.
Yeah, good stuff. Dirty D, thanks for the chat, brother. Appreciate you being a member. Here's Dank Bird Gang. What's up, Dank? How you doing, my man? Appreciate you, Dank. Dank's one of our best here. He says, have you seen that we're a companion team with the Bears? We've beaten all their division rivals, and the Bears have beaten all of our rivals. I saw that, Dank.
Well, no, because the NFC North is better than the NFC East. So, when the Eagles beat the Packers and the Lions, and even the Vikings, I can't count the Vikings anymore, but when they beat the Packers and Lions, it's more relevant than beating the Giants and the Commanders.
Yeah.
So, no, I wouldn't put
I
it
think
there.
Just in a vacuum, though. They beat all the NFC teams. We beat all the NFC teams.
I'd rather play the NFC.
It's not as valuable for us as it is for the Bears. To your point.
Yeah.
Good point, John. All right, here's Pumper. What's up, Pump? What's a show without a Pumper comment? He says it's going to be Shorty.
Going to be shitting on Jalen Hurts, I assume.
It's going to be Shorty who got in between JH and Arthur. They probably got the same side chick. Either way, get these dudes off my team. Yeah,
well, that's the Rona Barrett. I'm not talking about. Come on. Come on.
That is where people go. I'm not going there. Papa Smurf says, what would this offense look like with Smitty, Dotson, and Cooper, and would it change? It's a fair question. They're already pretty low, Papa Smurf. How much worse can it get?
You're saying play Smitty, Dotson, and Darius Cooper
I'm saying if
of
A.J. Brown left the team, if he was traded in the offseason.
Oh, I see. They better get something more than that. Yeah, they got to get something more than that.
Yeah, but they don't rely
Smitty's fine. Smitty's fine, obviously.
Yeah.
But well, you prefer to have Smitty and AJ from 2022, 2023, and 2024, which is difficult to do. But yeah, I mean, for many years, remember what this team was like before. Does anybody have a memory that long before they drafted Devontae and got AJ? Remember how bad they were at receiver?
Yeah, I remember. Don't you worry. I remember.
I mean, I think Jahan's a pretty good player. Like Darius Cooper's, hey, you hope, cross your finger, a long way away. Long way away. Jahan can play a little bit, but he's going to go somewhere anyway where he has an opportunity. Now, if they trade AJ, and like I said, I lean towards he's not going to be back next year unless things change dramatically. But if they go in a different direction, maybe they consider Jahan. I don't know if they can sell that to people, but I think they'd want something more proven. But yeah, you can't just, if you're going to lose AJ, you got to get something. You're not going to replace what he was from 22 to 24, but you got to get something.
No doubt. Good stuff, Papa Smurf. Appreciate all the super chats today. All right, guys.
You're also losing Goddard, I should say, as well. I can't see him being back, so remember that.
Goddard could be gone. AJ could be gone potentially. Lane Johnson potentially. Guess that's something to consider.
Well, you got to start paying those defensive guys, man.
Well, yeah. Jalen Phillips. You paying Jalen Phillips? I am. I know it's only
I am after 2 games. It's only 2 games, though.
Okay.
You don't have to make that decision. But if he continues to play anywhere near the level he's played in the first 2 games, yeah, it's a no-brainer.
What's he getting if he does? Let's just assume he plays like he has the last 2 games.
Significant.
28. I think 28 mil.
I don't think it's that high, but significant because of the injuries. I think it lowers it a little bit, but well over 20. Significant money.
Blaze, one more. Welcome to McDonald's, Rager and Umbrella Boy. I remember. Yeah, that was brutal. Please, Blaze, don't remind me of that shit. All right, John, let's move into some other topics here. Thanks, everybody, for the super chats today. John, I want to talk about the Eagles' defense. All right, they have really come alive in recent weeks. Really have played their best 2 games the last 2 weeks versus 2 of the best offenses in football in the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Eagles defense deserves a lot of credit for that. Dominant D, John, or too early to tell?
A little bit too early to tell, but I think, as I said, the history of Big Fangio everywhere is they get better as the season goes on. And I expect that to continue. Now, I do think the last 2 weeks, a little bit of an outlier. You can't just perform at that level for consistent 17 weeks in general, but you see the ceiling and the weather played a part of it. Because remember, the Green Bay defense looked pretty good and the Detroit defense looked pretty good. So there's something to the weather impacting those games. This is a big one because it's going to be a pristine environment, big time offense. I just talked glowingly about George Pickens.
Yeah.
CD's back playing at a high level. Quarterback, high volume thrower, good running game, which
quarterback's playing at a high level too. Not only is he a high volume thrower, but he's
playing at a high level. Good tight end. Which has been missing over the past couple of weeks, although he's not nearly as explosive as those guys, Kraft and Laporta, who were out. So if they go in there and have a great defensive game against Dallas on the road, Yeah, I'm fueling up the hype train. I think it's going to be a little bit of a step back, but they're a good defense. I don't think there's any question about that now. They're a good defense, and they're getting better. Jalen Carter's getting healthier. Jalix Hunt is turning it on now that he gets to sort of not be counted on and, can
Remember, he missed
relax a
the
little
first
bit.
Cowboy game too. I wonder if he's got a little bit of an extra juice for this game because he, obviously missed that first Cowboy game with the incident with the spitting and all that crap.
Yeah. Well, Carter, I mean, I don't worry about Carter. It's just a matter of how big the impact is on a week. But to Hunt's point, he's gotten much better since Jalen Phillips has gotten here. I don't think that's a coincidence at all. And then, like I said, I can't say enough good things about Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. And the linebackers. I mean, I think, I've Zach Bond is just, man, he's consistent.
Yeah.
And again, last year was so spectacular from a splash play aspect, but he's just a good football player, Zach Bond. And I think everybody's seen what N'Kobe has added from a physicality, football intelligence standpoint. And then career years from Moro Joma, career year from Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis, player of the week, defensive player of the week. He was special teams player of the week early. First Eagle ever to win both those awards in the same season. Yeah, they got a lot. They got a lot of guys they got to pay. They got to pay Jordan Davis. Now, they got to pay Quinyon down the road. They got to pay Cooper. They got to pay.
Yeah, and how much is Cooper and Quinyon's price going up if both of those guys land on the All-Pro team this year?
Phillips, Jalen Carter. Yeah, the reckoning is coming for
it's
that
coming.
offense.
It is freaking coming. All right, John, where do you see the advantage for this defense? Or maybe not the advantage, but just the challenge. I mean, you get the Cowboys are, for everybody out there, the Cowboys are the number 3 offense in pro football. They are the number 1 passing offense in pro football, and they are the number 12 rushing offense in pro football. They are and the number 2 scoring offense in pro football. In the red zone, they are 13th, and on third downs, they are 6th. This is a high-powered offense, John, playing really well. Where's the advantage for the Eagles' defense? And really, where do you think the keys are for this defense? What do you think the most important thing in this game for the defense to take away or mitigate for the Eagles to be successful in this one?
Well, definitely pass rush. I mean, definitely. If
Mac does not get sacked a lot, John. He's one of the lowest sack guys in the league right now.
No, and again, it's not about sacks. It's about speeding them up.
That's
Same
true.
thing with Jared Goff. It's about making him uncomfortable. Because if he's comfortable, you're going to have some issues. And their offensive line, if you look at, is not the strength that he once was. Now, I think Booker's doing a good job as a rookie. But, the Eagles' interior has been crazy. So that would be their strength is the guards, which are Booker and Tyler Smith, who's a really good player. But everybody else, BB's okay. But was he on their injury report because he's been in and out? But he's a guy, and then their tackles are not that good. Terrence Steele and Tyler Guyton, they're okay.
BB was not on their injury report. Yeah. Nobody was a DNP, but it was estimated.
Yeah, it was estimated. They did a walkthrough. So that means BB's back. So that should help a little bit. And then Guyton and Steele, to me, it's a edge rushing game more than an interior game. I never want to say the Eagles' interior rush isn't going to do something though, because they're so good. But to me, the weaker players on their offensive line are the tackles.
Yeah. And their offensive line has gotten better. I mean, they're
Oh,
yeah,
it's okay. It's above average.
definitely.
But back in the Zach Martin days, I mean, when they would blow them out down there, when they had a really good offensive line. They don't have that, but it's still above average. And it's getting better because Booker's a good player.
Yeah.
Tyler Smith, he's a lot of people call him the strongest player in the league.
He was an all pro, wasn't he, Tyler
Yeah.
Smith? Yeah.
Strongest player in it. So you're not gonna bull rush that guy a lot. Everything's about leverage, but big strong guy. So yeah, they got a lot to work with offensively. But it's interesting, because this is the team, like, be careful what you wish for. This is what you're wishing for, this team offensively. And they win some games and they lose some games.
Yeah, but their defense. I mean, come on. Let's be real here. You're telling me if we had this type of offense with our defense, we would lose a lot more? I'm sorry, I just can't believe it.
Not a lot more, but
We would turn the ball over a couple more times. Like that,
you can't win. I'll say this: you can't win much more than you win.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, if you turn it over a couple more times, you're probably going to lose. Not a lot, but you're probably going to lose a little bit more often.
All right, John, corners in this game. Tough receivers, man. You've just pointed it out. Pickens playing like one of the best receivers in football. CeeDee Lamb is obviously still the threat that he is. Dak Prescott gets those guys the ball so easily. Sometimes it makes my head spin when I watch them and I watch the Eagles, and it looks like nails on a chalkboard trying to get A.J. Brown the ball. And then I watch Dak Prescott, and he's flicking the ball around to George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, easy money. What do you expect from the corners here? And you mentioned it earlier, but just let's get clarity in this segment because I'm going to post this segment up as alone. Quinyon, expecting him to travel. Cooper in the slot will help because CD lines up in the slot. How do you kind of see that part of it shaking out?
Yeah, well, I'm sure that's what the Cowboys and that's what Brian Schottenheimer is trying to draw up. How do I get George Pickens or CeeDee Lamb on a Dory Jackson? And it's going to be interesting to see how Vic sort of limits that. You can't limit it completely. But, that's what you have to worry about. If Pickens specifically, because to me, Pickens is better than Lamb, as crazy as that is, because CeeDee Lamb's a great receiver. But I can't say enough good things about George Pickens. That's the guy I worry about. And he's been special this season.
He's
and
physical too. Like he's going to be a good.
Oh, he's big dude. He's
because Quinyon's a little bit of a handsy corner. He gets away with some stuff. He's got that pedigree now. It feels like. Cool. Pickens is a good matchup for him.
Well, I mean, it's sort of like the old my NBA comparison. 30-point score. He's going to get his.
Yeah, right.
You just want to make him work for it. They're going to throw for some yardage. I mean, be prepared for it. It's not 40-mile-an-hour winds. They're going to throw. They're going to be able to throw the football a little bit. You just want to. It's going to be a different style of game, I think, than it has been the past couple of weeks. That's why I think people get too hyper-focused on what they just saw, like it's going to continue. Like, it's a completely different environment indoors in Dallas versus what was going on in Philly on Sunday night. The game is going to be played differently. So it's not going to be lights out defense for either team. I don't think. So from that perspective, look, again, you want to make them work. And this goes with CeeDee Lamb. You want to make them work. And make it difficult. And that's what Quinyon does, and that's what Cooper does. And that's why they're so good. Because you're really of all the if you ask me the toughest place to play in the NFL, most people would say quarterback. I say cornerback. everything is against those guys. You know, and then you get a crew that is calling the handsy stuff and he can't do anything. And
is Quinion handsy? Somebody in the chat just told me I'm crazy for saying Quinion handsy.
My God, he's handsy as shit. But the beauty of that is, you know, you start to get a reputation as a big time player and you start to get away with more.
Yeah.
He's starting to get that reputation. And that's a good thing. Yeah, but come on, dude. He's handsy as shit. I don't know who said that to you. Look, early in the season, he's all over the place.
He is
grabbing jerseys.
What do you be watching? So there's barely speaking proper English there, but yeah, he is very handy, Lord.
Oh my God! Watch the games. He's pulling jerseys every game because he can get away with it. By the way, nothing wrong with that. He's a smart player.
Yeah, again, it wasn't a knock. It was simple. It was a simple, observation of the corner. He's a handy guy. It's a good thing. He's physical.
I've had these discussions with Darius Slay, who's going to the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. He was a smart dude when it comes to playing that position. And Slay told me, yeah, man, if they're giving you something, it's like a pitcher. It's like Greg Maddux. I always compared Slay to Greg Maddux. You throw it an inch off the plate because Greg Maddux had such great control, and he tried to get 2 inches. And he tried to go out and see what the ump was going to give him that day. Same thing with a great corner. You know, you get a little jerk of the jersey. All right, lets it go. He's letting us play. The film, what we be watching, the film is all over the place with him grabbing jerseys, dude. All over. Nothing wrong with it either, because he's getting that reputation, and he's earned that reputation, and he should do that.
We just said a couple seconds ago, the guy's about to be an all-pro. People hear what they want to hear. It is what it is, John. It's a good matchup, though, man, this weekend. And then CD, if you're the Cowboys, I guess, like you said, you're probably trying to get him out on the outside more of this game, not as much in the slot, because you don't want him lined up on Cooper. You want him on Adoree freaking Jackson.
Well, somebody's got to. Yeah, if I were the Cowboys, I would. This would be a big Tolbert or Turpin game in the slot, just to force Adoree Jackson to cover one of the 2 big time receivers, but that's not how teams operate typically. They like to be in their comfort zone, and in my opinion, sometimes shoot themselves in the foot, but we'll see how they handle it. But my whole goal this week for the Cowboys is to get Pickens or Lamb on Adoree Jackson as much as possible and take advantage of it. But that's easier said than done, because how many times have we said that? Well, Adoree's in the game. Keely's in the game. Adoree goes out. Keely goes in, vice versa. Why aren't they picking on Keely? I looked at Baker. That's one of the reasons I don't like the Bucs at all. They're attacking Quinion Mitchell and ignoring Keely Ringo.
Yeah.
I don't want that offense. So we'll see. We'll see how the Cowboys, but if I'm Schottenheimer, that's my whole week trying to get that matchup.
Boy, I tell you what, Eagles fans, you guys are fun. I don't know what happened to Philadelphia. Look, this guy's mad at how we talk. We just called him a fucking all-pro, Dabney. What are you talking about, my man? Rat poison, John. We're talking about the best corner in football this way. We called him an all-pro.
Yeah.
That's the highest accolade you can get in football. Is being.
And by the way, I'm an all-pro voter, and I'm voting for Quinion. Now there's 7. I mean, what
I don't even know why I give these people the fucking time of day. I really don't. These goofy ass motherfuckers. All right, John, going over to the other side. Offensive expectations coming into this game. We're coming off of 2 really ugly games. Obviously, we pointed out how the weather has such an impact on that. It's now going to be the beautiful Dallas weather, and that's that domed stadium. It might have some glare in there, but what are you expecting from the Eagles' offense this week versus the Cowboys?
Yeah, I'm expecting it to be a little bit better. Small bar, obviously low bar. But the assumption that again, the same thing I said about the defenses, the same thing with the offenses. Like, it doesn't move forward. Detroit's not going to play that way this week. Green Bay's not going to play that way last week, and they didn't. You get out of shitty environments, and things are going to get better just in general. And I do think that people get way too hyper focused on what they just saw in a league that proves every week that there is no transitive property, there is no week to week. Teams are different. This is an offense that hasn't been good. We can all agree with that. But they still had games where they scored 30 points. They still had the Minnesota game with the perfect passer rating. I mean, there are games that they've been okay.
Yeah.
They're not going to score 10 points and 16 points the rest of the way. And in a pristine environment, believe me, if they only score 16 points in Dallas, they're in trouble, number one. And I'll be shitting all over them if they can only muster 16 points. But I think they'll do better. The question is, what kind of game does it turn into? Games have personalities. I talk about it all the time. Can they win a shootout against this team? Do they need to win a shootout? What you want to do is hold them to, low 20s, and you be able to score high 20s and get out of there with a win. And I think they're capable. And maybe it's, 21 points on offense and a defensive touchdown or a special teams touchdown. But and I think they're capable of doing that on pretty much any week when there's not 40-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, which I think they will obviously have a better week compared to the last couple of weeks. What's the expectation or the thought process on Saquon Barkley, somebody who's been a big topic of conversation, whether it's on Saquon or the offensive line? I know a lot of people are going a lot of different directions with that. I think the most important thing is just get the damn guy going. I think he's capable of more than he's done this year. For whatever reason, he has not run at such a high level. You think they can get the run game going this week, John?
Yeah, no Lane Johnson. No, they can't get it going with Lane and with Cam.
They're playing a good defensive line. I mean, not great edges, but good interior. Remember, people talk about that. People talk about Kenny Clark and Quinnen, which I do. They also have that Osa guy too, who's a great player. They got a good defense. They got a good interior.
And as Raku and Clowney is out as a
Ariana Winfrey guy is back as well.
Yeah, they're better. They're getting better on defense. So I think people are going to look at the whole, because they're 31st or 32nd in the NFL overall. I mean, they were terrible, and similar things with Matt Eberflus is a good coordinator, so they're going to get better as not a good head coach, but a good coordinator. They're going to get better as the season goes on, and they're getting better players back, both from injury and they traded for a couple of good players, as I said. So they're getting better. I wouldn't look at those defensive numbers and say that's what you're going to see. They're going to see a much better defense than it looks on paper. But at the same time, there's a lot of uncertainty. I mean, Quinnen Williams, as good as he is, as talented as he is, just got there. Logan Wilson just got there. As I said, Obershone just back, played 30 reps. Rebel played 19 reps. You got to see where these guys are long-term physically. But what you can say is they're much better than they were. And all their defensive numbers look terrible. So if you're just using that, they should be able to throw the ball. They should be able to run the ball. But I think it's a completely different defense than the one they saw week one. And it's getting better. And I kind of lean on, since the Eagles have that kind of hubris to say it's about us, I'll say it's about the Eagles. And I haven't seen the Eagles run the football consistently. So until I see it, which is weird, now people are saying, hey, give Tank Bigsby more reps. I mean, what What are we doing?
Yeah.
And without Lane and Cam, I don't know if this is the week where it's going to get going, but we'll see.
Who do you give the advantage to in the trenches?
Well, typically it would be the Eagles, but because of the injuries.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, this weekend it's a different look.
I mean, for all the talk about Fred, good dude, man. I mean, that's a big drop off. And to Brett Totha's credit, he's played better than Cam this season, so I'm not as worried about the center. And it's only 2 games, but Brett played really well in those 2 games. So I'm more worried about Fred than Brett, I would say. And that's better from the standpoint of the Cowboys are better on the interior than on the outside.
You think they should get Tank Bigsby more carries? I know you just chuckled at it, but he has run the ball better and he has been decisive with the football, which I mean, I think you got the signature Johnny Mac smile over there at that one, but
you got to be careful, man. Got to be careful. I think it's fine what they're doing with Tank. He is explosive, but history says he's got ball security issues. That's why Jacksonville traded him. That's what this team runs on. The more you give him the football, the more that's likely to happen. And you still have Saquon Barkley. Yes, he's not playing well. I'll be the first to say that. But I got to lean on Saquon Barkley. I got to lean on Saquon Barkley. I mean, when you have Saquon, I can't move off that yet.
I'm not saying to move off it, but do you think he's nursing something? Do you think he's got any injuries? You think he's still just banged up from the running approach last year? I mean, look, the history.
I definitely think the numbers, the number of touches took something out of him. But on his worst day, I think he's better than Tank Bigsby on his best day. So if he can be out there, he's out there as far as I'm concerned. I mean, and that's for every snap he can handle. I mean, my goal is to win a Super Bowl if I'm the Eagles. So I ain't taking Saquon off the field for Tank Bigsby unless I have to. Third down's a little bit different because he's had a really poor year pass protecting.
Yeah,
but it's not like you can put Tank out there. That would be more Will Shipley, and that's like, that's like the tallest short guy at the circus. Can't say midget anymore, so I'll say short guy. I mean, none of them.
Why did that word get canceled?
Yeah, that word got canceled. So, and I just used it anyway, but for the comic purposes, I hope people, settle down a little bit. But I mean, my point is they all can't pass protect, but Saquon's been really bad at that this year.
Going to be interesting to see. It is a good matchup down in Dallas. All right, down in Dallas. So it's going to be interesting to see how this team. I don't know what the Eagles' record with Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni is in Dallas. I know they haven't played Dak that much down there, but
yeah, it's
what are the Kelly Greens? I'm not a huge fan of going on the road with the Kellys. I think it's cool, but I like when they do the stadium and the field and all the.
That's a Jeff Kerr question.
I know that's a Jeff Kerr question for sure. That's not a Johnny Mac comment.
I don't give a shit what they're wearing, but
you don't like the Kelly Greens?
Well, I have learned.
You gotta have like some preference, even if it's like a 3% preference.
Well, I do think they look better than. Yeah, I would say they look better than. The midnight green is egregious in my opinion. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But to the point of. And I give Reuben Frank credit for that. He's the exact same way. The Kelly Green is a little different because they make such a big deal out of it. They change the backdrops. The whole thing is different.
Yeah, right. You can tell when they're wearing it.
So if you ask me after that, like if you ask me what they wore right now against the Detroit Lions, I couldn't tell you. I watched the game 3 times. I couldn't tell you. I don't give a shit. I don't give half a shit.
I
I can tell you. You can't either.
Midnight.
You,
No, I do. I know what they wore. I mean, I
Yeah.
know just because of what else the fuck can they wear? They wear midnight green at home if they're not wearing.
well, they have a lot of different. They had black. At some point, they had the black helmets and the black. Now you can do
People love
different
the black
things.
helmets. They're okay to me.
Now you can do different things. You can do more different things. But to the point of, and mainly it's just jersey. Like, are they wearing the white or the green? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't notice. What do I care? Yeah, I know. But I do admit, like, well, I think, boy, I'm going to get in trouble. I think just from an aesthetic standpoint, I think the midnight green is hideous. I think it's Jeffrey Lurie's worst decision ever.
Yeah, wasn't it his wife? Isn't it his wife the one who
I
wanted?
think so, but I so don't get into it. I don't even know because I wasn't here at the time, but
I really want them to bring back the white with Kelly green. That's what
I don't care. But I will admit the Kelly green is better than anything else they wear.
Yeah,
I will admit that.
I'm sensing from you. You like the Kelly green. You just got to stick here.
No, it's bad. I just said it's better.
Yeah, better. It's better.
But I mean, I don't care. My favorite uniforms, the only one I said that I actually liked were the Chargers, the old. I thought they always had.
Oh, the old light blue one.
Yeah, the powder blue.
That was fire with LaDainian. I used
to.
Funny you brought that up. When I was a kid, John, I loved LaDainian Tomlinson. I had a LaDainian Tomlinson light blue jersey I got for Christmas one year, and I was like probably, I don't know, 8 years old, 10 years old. I don't know how old I was, but yeah, that jersey's sick.
Yeah. I've never been a big jersey guy.
Well, I'm not anymore. I give them away now all on the channel. That's it. I don't wear. I'm not a big jersey wearer at all. I like the jackets or something.
And when I do, I like traditional. Like I like teams that never change. I like traditional, like the Yankees, like the Celtics, like, and now they changed in the NBA.
Like the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yeah. Well, Penn State, not so much because they're so just plain. So it's like, ugh. But yeah, Alabama, all the teams, Notre Dame, never change. Although they change now because they have to with all the special jerseys, and they're allowed. It's all about merchandising. It's all about stealing money from you guys. But if you want it,
Well, it's business. I don't know if it's stealing, but I hear you. The hot take of the day, all right, is the midnight greens are trash.
That's gonna go over well.
They bitch about that. They got their panties in a bind here. All right, let's go to some super chats. We got about 13 minutes left on the show today. Good initial preview of Eagles Cowboys. Good conversation on the AJ Jalen stuff. Man, am I tired of this crap. As much as we got to talk about it, holy shit, I am sick of this crap. But Deshaun Jackson threw a little gasoline on that fire.
Come on, Deshaun. Like I said, you're a head coach, man. You can't do that anymore.
All right, let's get some super chats here. Blaze says, welcome to McDonald's, Rager and Umbrella Boy. I remember. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Were you covering the Eagles when Umbrella Boy was here? And his mom had the umbrella out of practice for him?
Yeah, JJ, yeah.
Yeah.
JJ, yeah. By the way, in fact, I was standing right next to him at one point with the umbrella. His mom was there, and he was standing next to his mom. I mean, what is wrong with people? And his mom, it was a hot day. It's raining.
We got to admit it made a funny image, dude. His mom's at NFL practice holding a fucking umbrella over his head. Come on, that's a funny image, John.
They have family days like all the time.
Yeah,
like,
I know that.
They have a family tent. They have family, like, guys are like, Keely Ringo's mom is down there every day wearing like a Gilly outfit. Gilly, the kid with the goopy hat.
Yeah.
I mean, like it ain't a big deal. That's all I'm trying to say.
That's fine.
He's waiting to do an interview with I remember it so much because I think Bob Gross might have taken the picture, at least one that went somewhat viral. And he's like waiting there to do a TV interview with Combi, and he's sitting next to his mom. He's standing next to his mom. His mom was hot. She had a little parasol, whatever the hell it is.
All right,
I'm like, people lose their minds over bullshit.
Over bullshit.
Now he couldn't play. That's the more important part. But it's not that he couldn't play because he was under his mom's umbrella at training camp.
Here
People
it
are
is.
insane.
Here it is for those who have never seen it. There's the famous photo of JJ and his mom standing under the umbrella.
I'm like, people are nuts, man. They're nuts. It wasn't a big deal. You know,
even if it's not a big deal, it's still funny. I don't care what you say. It's funny. It is. It's just a funny photo.
If that were it, and the people didn't take it to the level they took it, I'd agree with you. But that's not the way it was taken.
Well, that's because we got an immature world, John. That's the reality of the situation. All right, but I hear you. Here's Pumper. What's up, Pump? I went back and I watched some 22 tape. Biggest difference, QB was way faster back then. Legs opened up the passing game. Too bad his hammies are cooked. I don't think Jalen's ever missed anything for a hammy. Has he?
Come on. Pumper's not to be taken seriously.
He's
you see the two quarterback draws against the Lions?
Yeah.
They weren't bad.
He's certainly not as fast as he was in 2022. He was a machine in the run game. He was a beast.
Well, they do it, but the difference between, and why I don't go back to 2022, and I don't think it's relevant, is they played a different style of football because there's two eras here that we're talking about. Pre-Saquon Barkley and post-Saquon Barkley. And post-Saquon Barkley is different than pre-Saquon Barkley. They were still a run-heavy team, but they realized with Miles Sanders and DeAndre Swift, they had to do some different things. Now, they haven't come to that conclusion, and maybe they should because Saquon isn't the same as he was last year. But that's a different conversation. They don't play the same style.
And here's Pumper. We got another Pumper. This should be a Keeley game. Fire. We need his impressive length and physical frame. Adoree should be sat, and we have my seventh heaven take the challenge. All right.
Yeah. Adoree has won the job. Adoree's a starting quarterback. Now he's a cornerback. Now he's gotten banged up a number of times. So that's not to say you won't see Keeley. And Vic is very quick with the hook on that as well. So, but it's Adoree's job to lose. And he ain't losing it if he plays the way he played the last 2 weeks, which he probably won't. So there you have it.
Come on, Pump. Did you have to word this that way? Here's Dank. What's up, Dank? Not saying 50-50 split with Saquon, but 8 to 12 carries can't hurt. It would also take some pressure off Barkley.
God, 50-50. Oof. Look, Tank's the flavor of the month. He has done very well in his short sample sizes. He's got a long history of fumbling the football. I have a feeling the first time that happens,
it's over.
It might be over.
That's it. I'm with you. The Eagles do not like turnovers, evidently. They have literally pissed off all their receivers. They have changed their offense completely. They no longer use their offense much because for the name of turnovers. If Tank has one turnover, he might get cut. No, I'm just kidding. Blake says, the one gap all year Saquon got, he took 60 yards for a touchdown and wasn't even close. He's not washed. Teams aren't afraid of Tank like they are Saquon. That's true.
Well, that's true. I mean, come on.
One's going. Saquon's maybe looking for that big play a little too much right now in the backfield.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't say the one time though that I disagree. The one gap, and by the way, that wasn't a gap. That was like the left lane on I-95 because Tank could have ran through that as well. So it's it's a give and take with both parts of the running game. But yeah, I mean, what are we doing here? I'm not going to compare Saquon Barkley. I'm not even going to put Tank Bigsby in the same sentence as Saquon Barkley. Yes, obviously teams are more concerned about Saquon Barkley than Tank Bigsby. One's going to the Hall of Fame. One's, hey, maybe he's a good backup running back.
You think Saquon's going to the Hall of Fame? Yeah. Doesn't have the numbers yet.
Yeah, he's going. He's already there. I already said that. his reputation amongst his peers. Now he's got to finish his career. He can't just stop playing. There's got to be some.
I don't know. We had Hall of Fame voter Jason Cole who said no, not yet, no way.
Well, he's talking about longevity, yeah, from that standpoint. But he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. That's what I'm saying. Because my perception is he's not going to stop playing. He's going to have a few more 1,000-yard years, and at that point, the longevity will match up with his reputation amongst his peers, and he will be in the Hall of Fame. Very comfortable with that prediction.
Yep, we'll see what happens with it. I hope he does go to the Hall of Fame. That'd be pretty sick. I hope he goes in as an Eagle. It would be even cooler. So good stuff there. Appreciate everybody for being here. All right, Johnny Mac, 5 minutes left on the show today. We're going to have a great Football Friday tomorrow with Oscar Budajin. I love Oscar Budajin. We've only had him on I think once or twice here, but I do love talking to him. A lot of good commentary coming into this game. It's a good one, John. I think it's a game that fans shouldn't go to sleep on. I think we're going to win. I think we're the better team than Dallas. But I do think they present a pretty good matchup for this Eagles team based on the way we're playing. Defense has really come alive, and their offense is good. Our offense has struggled, and their defense has started to get a little bit better, but is overall a pretty bad defense statistically. It should be a good matchup.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a better game than some of the fans who think they're just going to roll down there. I think it's going to be a difficult game. And it's, as I said, there's something to the fact that one team is going to be much more desperate to get the win by hook or by crook than another team that has a large margin for error when it comes to records. But the Eagles have proven to handle that kind of stuff before and just go down and win. But this is a game I'm struggling with, and I haven't decided who I'm picking. So I am considering picking the Cowboys. But the Eagles usually find a way to win. So it's tough. It's always tough to pick against them. Always.
It is. The team has won at an unprecedented clip, no doubt about it. And if they win the turnover battle, I will make the absolute prediction that they will win the game if they win the turnover battle. And they probably will, considering every once in a while, Dak will give you a turnover. How many turnovers does Dak have this year? I think Dak's
not a lot. He's
people do not like when I say Dak's having a good year. It's amazing. These fans, that might be the number one thing that pisses them off if I say that when Dak is having a good year.
The absurdity of not admitting players on the opponent are not good players. I mean, when they objectively are, is one of the things that I will never understand. I will never understand.
6 picks this year, Dak. He's got 6. I don't know how many fumbles he has, but he's got 6 picks so far, 21 tutties.
Yeah. And that's 6 is not a ton considering how much they throw the ball. It's peaked. I know he's at 3 for a while, so he's thrown a little bit more recently. But Jalen's got 1. How many times has Jalen Hurts thrown the ball?
They're 29th, I think, or 30th in the league in attempts.
Yeah, but still, he's got 1 interception. 1 interception.
Well, there are people out there, and I'll just get your take on this. I'm not saying I'm one way or the other. There are people out there who say, no shit, he doesn't have picks. He doesn't throw the ball into the teeth of the coverage.
Well, yeah, that's part of it. That's the point. So it's, again, everything's a give and take. There's only one time in the history of football, I keep bringing this up, one time, nobody else has ever done it. Nobody has ever thrown 500 NFL passes over any span ever with just 1 interception. It's actually 2 or less. Sorry, 2 or less. So 581 pass attempts, 2 or less interceptions. Nobody's ever gone 500. He's a 581. Yes, part of that is being cautious. Yes.
Yeah.
But it's still insane. And when you couple that with 40-2, and that's the Eagles' record when they win the turnover battle, you kind of see their thought process.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand Nick more now than maybe ever.
So, yes, if he threw, that's my whole point. Be careful what you wish for. to the point of if they threw the ball around the field like the Dallas Cowboys, yes, he's going to throw more interceptions.
Yeah, just be prepared for a lot of Eagles fans because they don't. This is ugly to watch. Leader of three, we lead the top of the NFL in 3 and outs. We're bottom ranked offense every single year. I get it. It's impressive. I'm not saying what you're saying isn't true, but the Eeyores aren't going away. Both on the team.
Oh, I know that. I know that. And you already have it. 200. It's 269 attempts, 1 interception this year, which is freaking incredible. The interception percentage, by the way, 0.4%. Now, he's always taken care of the football. He's never been above 2.8%. He's had a 1.3 year when they went to the Super Bowl in 2022 and a 1.4 year when they went to the Super Bowl in 2024 after 2024. This year, it's 0.4 interception percentage. Unheard of. There's good mixed amongst the bad. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. John, your final thoughts here at a Thursday edition. What's on the agenda for the Birds today?
Practice 2:15, locker room 4:30-ish, something like that. So
late one.
We'll get to see if Cam Jurgens is out there. I don't expect him to be out there. Obviously, Lane's not going to be out there.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have Brett Toth and Fred Johnson on the offensive line this week.
I saw somebody say Fred is not that big of a drop-off. Guys, Lane Johnson's a Hall of Fame.
What the fuck are we doing here?
So
Fred, what is wrong with me?
I shouldn't have said that to piss you off on your way out the door.
I mean, what is wrong with people?
Oh man, that's funny, man.
You might be talking about the greatest right tackle of all time. Oh, not that much of a drop off. What the fuck? Yeah,
I don't know, John. I really don't fucking know, dude. John, good stuff, my man. John, before you get down there, try and remember to text Machota. I'd love to get him on. I know you're going to be busy as hell once you get down to the Novacare complex.
Yeah, I will do that.
All right, J-Mac. Good stuff, my man. I appreciate you as always, brother.
All right, see ya.
All right, later, dude. There's Johnny Mac. John McMullen joining us right here on Birds 365. Give him a follow at JF McMullen, the #1 Eagles beat reporter in town, and it's not particularly close. Appreciate everybody for being here. A lot to talk about here on Zander Time. Woo! Holy shit! Here's Tyler. What up, Tyler? What's Aaron Rodgers' pass attempt interception stat? I thought he had a long run. He did have a long run. I tell you what, Tyler, he wasn't risk averse. He threw the ball into the fucking teeth of the coverage. He didn't give a shit. One of the best throwers. If we lose, you think we'll get the 1 seed? Rams are 8-2, but they still have a tough schedule too. They got to go to Seattle. I think we can still get the 1 seed if we lose. Josh B says Dak is a great player. He's also the most annoying player in the history of the NFL. Yeah. Here we go. Did anybody see last game on Monday night? They were literally in victory formation. And Dak was still hitting them with the here we go. I mean, it was almost an impressive commitment to the bit. All right? An impressive commitment from Dak Prescott here. They were in victory formation. Pumper, you're telling me to wipe my mouth. Pumper, you were the one talking about impressive length and shit earlier on Ringo. I don't know what you were talking about, my man. All right? I don't know what you were talking about, my man. Okay? All right? By the way, I don't care what Xander. Why are you here then, No Limit? Why are you here? All right? Dak is dog shit. No, he's not. It's a stupid comment. Fucking Dak is dog shit. Oh, my gosh. I refuse to live in a world where I lie to myself. I don't need to lie to myself to make myself feel better. I know a lot of you need to. I don't need to lie to myself to make myself feel better. It doesn't make me feel better about my team. It doesn't make me feel happier or as a fan. It doesn't make me feel better to lie and say Dak Prescott blows. He doesn't blow. Come on. I'm stupid. Dak Prescott blew. Yeah. He's been the architect of one of the best passing offenses in football 3 different times. He's the number 1 passing offense in football right now. Simpletons. You guys are simpletons. By the way, I got to call out some of our fan base. Why are we so in love with victimizing ourselves? You know, this guy yesterday makes this whole video about how I'm a racist because of me being hard on Jalen Hurts. Bro, how about just fucking play better? That's it. How about just fucking play better? Okay? How about just not be the bottom offense in the league with all this talent? That's it. How about that? Did we ever think about fucking that? I mean, it's ridiculous. The scrubs in here, the loser mentality, the victim mentality. I'm a victim. Everybody's coming after me. You guys are all racist because of the 1930s. Fuck you. Wake up. Fuck you. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. The victimization. People love it. People love it. They just want, I'm a victor. How about that? Be a fucking victor of your circumstance. How about that? You can be a victim or you can be a victor. Be a fucking winner. You baby back bitches. Oh my gosh, I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of the fucking softies out there. These soft ass buttercups. These soft ass buttercups. Oh my God. How could you ever say one thing about Jalen Hurts? The fuck do you mean? We got the bottom offense in football for another year. How about just fucking play better? How about that? How about just get the most out of your talent around you? How about that? Here we go. Softies and buttercups, baby. They make this fan base go around. They make this fan base go around. The softies and the buttercups. Holy shit. Holy shit. All right, guys, what do we think of this game this weekend? What do we think of the game this weekend? Eagles, Cowboys. I think it's an interesting matchup because the Cowboys offense does move the ball well. Again, for all the people who can't admit to themselves that Dak is a good quarterback. Really weird. But I get it. Eagles fans go crazy for it. What do we think of the game this weekend? What are the keys to the game in your opinion? All right. Here's VJ. Zander, you are right. You got to chill. Season ain't over. What do you mean I got to chill? I'm fucking very chill. We're 8-2. I'm chill. We're probably going to go back. We're probably going to be the number 1 seed in the NFC. We are probably going to get home field advantage in the playoffs. And our offense just blows. That's all I'm saying. I don't think I have to chill on anything. You can chill, though, VJ. Wow, Rachel says she thinks this is a loss. Rachel, very interesting. Wow, Sean, this is epic. I don't hunt. Sean, I told you the story before. You got a 7-point. That's dope. My brother hunts. I don't hunt. He just started, Sean. We didn't grow up hunting, but my brother just got into it recently. And he keeps asking me. The problem with me, dude, is it's very busy season for me, so it's kind of a challenge, but very cool. Congratulations. That's a nice one, brother. All right. Gary says this has lost all over it. Wow. A lot of people. All right. Get him, Z. Roof. All right, Theo. All the Diddy comments this week. All right. Holy moly. Here's Lucius. Fair question time. Why do we care about stats? Me personally, I care about wins only. If people want to leave to get better stats, I get it. But if we can win another Super Bowl this way, then I'm good. Lucius, I don't know. To me, it's not all about stats, Lucius. It's just about the fact that we literally look inept on offense. I mean, we're top of the league in 3-and-outs. We are down with the Jets and the Titans in terms of getting into the red zone. We do not move the ball well. We have so much talent on offense, and we don't live up to it at all. Like, I get it. All you want to do is win, but that's not the only thing to talk about, Lucius. That's not the only context of the conversation. We are a very underperforming offense, an underwhelming offense. Right now, we rely on our defense. If you're good with, I'm good with that too. But you have to also understand the nuance to the conversation. That makes our margin for error tiny. We don't use A.J. Brown. We have literally reached a point And if you missed the opening segment of Birds 365 today, I urge you to go and listen to it. We have literally reached a point where John McMullen is telling me on the show, every player on offense has regressed. That's literally what he's saying. Every player on our offense has regressed. Now, to me, I think that's an asinine comment. Dallas Goedert's like the oldest guy on offense outside of Lane Johnson. He's like 30 years old. A.J. Brown's 28. Devontae Smith is 26. Jalen Hurts is 27. Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Jordan Mailata, all these guys well under 30 years old. Tyler Steen, 25 years old. What? Is that really where we are? That's how bad our offense is, that people are now saying. And I get where John's coming from, where he's like, maybe we just got to stop thinking that the offense is as good as we think it is. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I hear you, Lucius. All you give a fuck about is winning. That's cool. You're allowed to be that as a fan, but just acknowledge the context. And don't sit up here and act like I can't talk about that context. I do a talk show. I talk up here for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours every single day. Lucius, I know you would love for me to come up and just say, okay, everybody, the Eagles won. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm not doing that. I can't do that. That's not what my business calls for. That wouldn't allow me to get paid and have a living and make a channel and do the living that I do. So I'm going to talk about all the context. If you don't like it, that's perfectly fine. I'm not begging anybody to be here. All right. And I'm not saying you don't enjoy the content. I'm just saying from my perspective, all the context gets put into it. Oh my gosh, the racist part comes from a history. Original Philly. I was born in 1998, guy. All right. I understand that there's a great history of racism and things in this nation. I'm not trying to dismiss that and act like it doesn't exist. But I'm talking about fucking football. Shut the fuck up. I cover a league that's 80% black. You want me to never make a comment on a black player? Another person who wants the show to die. It's a stupid fucking comment. Get out of this victim mentality. I don't give a fuck what color you are. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what gender you are. Stop being a victim. I promise your life will improve. I promise. Holy shit. The baby back bitches in the world. It's unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable. JD3 says, I'm buying a stripper account. I'm about to be the next Eagle content claims. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny, JD3. That is pretty funny. Calm down, dude. Jeez, don't tell me what to do. You fucking calm down. You calm down telling me what to do. Deshae says, shut up. Deshae, you shut up, bitch. Zander, you are only as good as your weakest link. Who is our weakest link on offense? Big Mike, I'll let you answer that first. Houston, it feels like that's coming next, man. It feels like that's coming next, Houston. Houston says, I can't talk about football because the color of the football is brown. I mean, it's like so stupid. All right. It's like so stupid. Please win in life. Don't let these people tell you got to be down about everything. You got to be a victim about everything. You can't do it. You can't account. Bullshit. 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 Zay, you got me twisted. I didn't and still don't care about y'all talking about all aspects of the team. I was just asking a question. All right, well, I was just answering. That's all. I appreciate you, Lucius. I actually do understand where you're coming from. I do understand where you're coming from. Original, I don't know why you stay here. You hate it so much. Get out of here. You don't have to stay here. Nobody's begging you to be here. If you go on your YouTube homepage, there's probably 14,000 YouTube channels that you can click on and watch. And Dank, don't speak when you don't know. I was accused publicly on a video. Don't speak when you don't know, Dank. Nobody accused me. Dank, with all due respect, you don't know. Okay? You don't know, Dank. white fragility. You sound like a pussy too, Dank. Another victim. You don't know what the fuck happened. Here's Blaze. 2 elite wide receivers, elite running back, top 5 O-line and passing, great tight end. All that leaves is the quarterback play and coaching. We're not regressing. We just suck. Fair enough, Blaze. Hard to dismiss that. All right. Hard to dismiss that. Dank says he was talking about Brandon. My bad. But it sounded like you were talking about me, and people have accused me of it now publicly. So, again, it's something I got to deal with. Y'all don't care, but at the end of the day, nobody wants to be called that. The fuck? Nobody wants to be called that. Jalen Hurts is the quarterback of one of the worst offenses in pro football. Think about that. He's the quarterback of one of the worst offenses in pro football, okay? And now, if I criticize that or I talk about that, okay. Pretty funny. I mean, think about that. Find me another offense in pro football where the quarterback is just removed from the conversation. Like, the Cowboys legitimately have the number 2 offense in pro football right now and the number 1 passing game in pro football. And y'all still shit on Dak. Think about that. Y'all still shit on Dak. They got the number 1. We have a bottom-ranked offense. And people think it's absurd to even bring up the quarterback's name. How dare you talk about Jalen Hurts? You guys are, it's ridiculous. I'm telling you right now, if you don't like that type of commentary, just leave now. Original Philly, you don't like, just leave now. It's never changing. I'm never making JAKIB a pussy-ass outlet that doesn't talk about shit. Never happening. Never happening. And I refuse to be put into a corner and boxed and victimized because none of you want to hear the truth. I won't be bullied into an opinion. Call me whatever the fuck you want. I'm not being bullied into a way of thinking and an opinion because you guys can't handle it. Every quarterback in pro football gets criticized. But in Philly, nah, man, you can't talk about that, Jalen Hurts. You can't talk about Jalen Hurts. Look at Tizzle. You sound like a Cowgirls fan. No, you do. You do. You know, Eagles fans make fun of Cowboy fans because they're Dak Prescott glazers, right? Isn't that what you're saying here, Tizzle? We got one of the worst offenses in football. And you can't talk about the quarterback. You're the Cowboy fan. It's you. It's you, Tizzleton Stees. Lowe says, Zander, look at the defense that Dak played against and look where that defense ranks and also look at the QBs he went against. Well, quarterbacks don't play quarterbacks. I don't know what game you watch, but when a quarterback's on the field, typically the other defense is on the field. So the quarterback plays opposing defenses, not other quarterbacks. So if Dak played a quarterback that sucks, that doesn't really mean a whole lot. If we played the Browns, okay, Jalen Hurts doesn't play against Shedeur Sanders. He plays against Myles Garrett and one of the top defenses in pro football. Come on, Lowe. Come on, Lowe. I know you can get there, Lowe. I know you can get it. I know you can make it there, Lowe. Come on, man. Can we move to a new topic? Tea time. Welcome to Zander time. All right. I'm going to talk about whatever I want because most people want me to sit in the corner and accept it. Oh, Zander's a rate. Okay, I'll shut up. Please don't call me that. Don't call me that word. Fuck that. Nobody's telling me how to talk, when to talk, what to talk about. Bullshit. Bullshit. All we talking about is race. No, we're not. We're talking about football. We're talking about football. They want me to be a glazed donut. Exactly, HKP. It is what it is. DC Trucker says, it's not that you can't criticize, but the bashing every day, all day is a bit much. All right, well, then maybe this channel's not for you. Curtis, it is what it is, my man. It is what it is. All right. This is Mr. You still haven't answered me. Are you Mr. or Mrs.? I don't want to, I'm trying to not get it wrong here. Are you Mr. or are you Mrs.? It's Mrs. Parks or it's Mr. Sparks. What is it? You let me know so I get it right. This is actually a good comment, though. If a portion of us can't handle the Hurts talk, it's actually a good thing for any sports talk show, if you ask me. You need all types of perspectives to have a thriving show. Great comment. Great comment. That's very, all right, it's Mr. So it's Mr. Sparks. Mr. Sparks, that's a good comment and well taken. All right. I understand exactly what you're saying. Tyler Braswell with the gifted. Tyler, thank you, my man. Tyler's a big supporter of the channel. Tyler, we appreciate you, my man. Tyler, answer me this question. Tyler, answer me this question. Tyler Braswell. Are you a Jalen Hurts fan? Tyler. Is Tyler a Jalen Hurts fan? You answer me that, Tyler. Drummer Man says, hey, Zander, what I don't understand is how come they're not running Jalen Hurts like they used to when they ran him. That opens up the passing. Yeah, I don't know why they stopped that. Tyler says, I like him. Yes. All right, Tyler. I'd like to do something for Tyler. Tyler is one of our longest standing members. I believe he's a legend member. He gifts memberships all the time, and he's a massive supporter of the channel. So what I'd like to do for Tyler is give him something. Tyler, what size do you wear? I think I have a Jalen jersey, but I also have a Saquon jersey. I also have some Jalen Carters, but they're smaller. I'd like to give Tyler a jersey. Tyler's going to be our giveaway winner today. All right? Tyler's going to be our giveaway today. Tyler, let me know what size you rock, and I'll see if I have a jersey that fits your size. I already have a bunch of people I got to go and get different sizes for. All right? Tyler, appreciate it, bro. Appreciate your support of the channel, man. Five memberships gifted. Here's our pumper. The Jalenites are a disgusting bunch. Some of the most worthless dudes I've ever encountered on these YouTube streets. A bunch of fruity pebbles. A lot of fruity pebbles. A-Team says, does Wayne Brady have to smack a bit? Wayne Brady. Should I know who Wayne Brady is? A comedian? Is that who it is? I'm not familiar. I apologize. I'm not familiar. Where's my boy Tyler? Did he give me his size yet? That's before Xander's time. Yeah, I don't know Wayne Brady. Sorry. Apparently it's a good reference. But I don't know. I don't know Wayne Brady. Zander grew up in a cave. Twiz, I grew up outside. I didn't watch a lot of TV. I'm telling you. I had ADHD. You can tell on my shows. I love being outside. You know, I found this. My mom found this funny thing at the house the other day. She had like this printout of shit, and all the shit was based on me putting all the shit away outside, putting my bike away, putting all the shit I used to play with outside. And the other thing on there was shoot 100 shots, 100 basketball shots. That was on there as well. All right. I'll get to everything. I'm getting everything here. A lot of combo coming in. Keese, what's up, Keese? You're gifted now. Philly Tide. I got a question for you, Philly Tide. See, I don't know. Philly Tide. I must have pissed you off with something. Is that right, Philly Tide? Can you answer me this? Because you've been a great supporter here these last couple of weeks. And you were I think it was you who was messaging me on Twitter, no? And we were going back and forth about some shit on Twitter. Is that correct? Is this correct? Well, I was looking to send you something yesterday. If you're still listening, I was looking to send you something yesterday about the Crimson Tide. And I'm looking for our DM, and I'm like, it's not there anymore. Did this guy block me? Did you block me? This guy blocked me. I must have pissed him off. He says, no, all of our conversations. But then where did our Twitter DM go? The fuck? The thing is gonzo. The thing is gonzo, my friend. I'm like, Philly Tide blocked me. And then there's this other dude on Twitter. This other dude on Twitter that's this Alabama Crimson Tide or Eagle fan. Crimson Tide Bama, just like you have. He's got the Eagle and the Bama in the profile picture. And he's shitting on Jacob all over X. Jacob Sports is perpetuating narratives. I'm like, holy crap, bro. How old was I in 2004? I was 6. Yeah, I was 6 years old. I was 6 years old. Double XL. I think I'm out of double X's, Tyler. I got an XL Hertz. No. I got an XL Saquon. That's it. I got an XL. That's it. They do run a little big, but I don't know. It might not work. I'll try and get you something. I do want to give you a jersey, Tyler, because you do all right, you just sent me a message. All right, I got it. Now I got it. All right, I conflated you with somebody else. Who's this Philly Tide guy on Twitter? This guy. This guy. He used to message me all the time. Now he's like blocked. I don't know if he doesn't block me, but he removed me. Xander, you need some sleep or coffee. Your eyes look like you on that fent. Well, I definitely am not on that fent. I don't know. Maybe not. Definitely not on that. I don't get much sleep though, Nate. I get about 5 hours a night. I think it's plenty. I got energy. I work late into the evening. All right. I'm not complaining. Let's see what I got. I wear this Whoop band, so it tells me how much sleep I got. I got 5 hours, 18 minutes last night. It's not bad. 5 hours, 18 minutes. I'm good. Zan leaning forward. Reyes, dude, I'm telling you, I gotta change up some shit. Reyes, that comment you made to me like a year ago, 30's gonna hit you like a ton of bricks. I gotta change some shit. I can't sit in this chair all day. I can't. It's bad for me. I'm telling you, man. My body's gonna break down. My body's gonna break the fuck down, man. My back's hurting. Oh, it's brutal. I know. A-Team, I used to work out every damn day, bro. Now I don't. I just work too much now. I just work too much. But I love it. I love working, man. I love working. I do. I believe in working. I said it as a peaceful heads up. Yeah, you did. Still doesn't stand up. My diet's really good, Underdog. I don't eat any bullshit. I really don't. I don't eat any bullshit. The problem with me is I'm working too much right now. I legitimately sit in this chair at 7 a.m. and sometimes I won't stop working until last night. Like I was posting shit out at 11:30. Like that is not good. That is not good. That's true. Emmanuel, sometimes I wish I was blue collar, bro. Sometimes I wish I wasn't sitting at this damn computer all day and I was out using my hands. Because when I grew up, I loved being outside. I loved using my hands. I loved it, you know? So sometimes, Emmanuel, maybe one day maybe I'll sell this business and then I'll go into that life. Maybe. Bring the stream on the road. Yeah, maybe I got to. Bruce says, I wish you were my Bruce. I watch you on Instagram. I'm telling you, bro, sometimes I live through you. Sometimes I'm like, I wish I was doing that. Brandon says, Xander, my diet is pretty good. Also, Xander, who wants some cheesesteak dumplings? Hey, man, you got to pay the bills, Brandon. They're a great sponsor. Go to humpty'sdumplings.com. They are fucking good dumplings, dude. I'm telling you right now. They're good-ass dumplings. Those cheesesteak ones. Philly Ty says, I can't believe Z took me for a Krispy Kreme glazed donut. I never blocked Z or disrespect the great. I did, dude. Philly Ty, I'm not going to lie to you. I straight up thought you were a Krispy Kremer. I thought you were a Krispy Kremer, bro. I joined JAKIB online. Oh, Houston, let me go double check for you, bro. Oh, I did get it. I did get it. Hell yeah, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Houston. I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it, man. Nate the God says sleep is essential. You need to delegate. I'm getting there, man. I got a couple people that I've delegated some stuff to. It's hard though, dude. Nate, one of my deficiencies as a business owner, and it's been my deficiency always since I've done this, is delegation. I've struggled with it. I've just always been like, I'm going to do it faster. I'm going to do it how I want it to look. And again, I understand that is a deficiency. But it also requires capital and money. You know, and that's why I work so hard right now, because I'm not where I need to be money-wise, capital-wise for JAKIB Sports to be able to, you know, delegate as much as I want to. We're getting there, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet, all right? Pumper says, hurts his cheeks. No further assessment is needed. I don't think he's cheeks, but he's got deficiencies. Lucius, dude, thank you, man. Lucius with 10 gifteds. Holy moly. I might have to do a drawing as well today. I'll do a drawing as well. All right, on top of Tyler winning a jersey. Tyler, I got to get you a jersey. I'll work on a 2XL for you. Tell me who you want. I think he said defense. I think he said defense he wanted. I'll try and get him. Who's the best defensive player to get right now? Probably Quignon, right? Probably Quignon or Coop. Probably Quignon or Coop. At the helm says, I wear XL. 1, you're a dusty gray. And 2, I see you in here every day chirping. At the helm. I tell you, I keep receipts on all commenters for a good reason. I keep receipts on all commenters. Every one of you. I keep receipts on. My memory is pristine. Bond is a good one. Tyler says, I'm not picky. All right, I'll work on something. No Blankenship. No way. No Blankenship, man. Can you believe it? A Dusty Gray who's been hating for weeks wants a shirt, wants a jersey. You dusty ass Gray. Oh, Houston, it's not going to change, bro. What becoming a member on the site doesn't change your name, doesn't change your car. I can make you I'll wrench you up, Houston. Let me wrench you. I'll give you a wrench. That way your name will change. Where's my boy Houston in the chat? There he is. All right, Houston, it should change now. All right, Houston, it should change now. Big Mike says, Andrew, you don't delegate because in your mind, no one does it as good. Well, there's certain things I'm just not good at, though, Big Mike. But you're right. That's been the mentality. But I'm coming out of that. You know, I got a couple people that are helping me now. They do such a good job. My thumbnails, all done by them. My video editing now is all managed by them. All the short form content's managed by them. So it's getting there. We're getting there. I'm not where I want to. I'm not. You're never where you want to be in life, right? I mean, there's always the next thing, dude. Always the next thing. Okay. DC Trucker says, funny how these people talk and complain about Hurts, yet he's accomplished more in his young life than most of these people in the DC Trucker, what does it have to do with anything, bro? Like, I get it, but like, okay, nobody's saying Jalen didn't accomplish shit. That's all the reason that you don't have to fucking sit up here and hold his jock strap for him. The guy's a top paid player in the National Football League. He's young and more successful than 99.99999% of the world. Forget the country or forget people in this chat section. How about the world at large? How about the 8 billion people on the planet? He's more successful than 99.999%. And still, DC Trucker, Anybody who criticizes how he manages the Eagles offense, which they're well within their right to do, whether he's more successful than them or not, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? They're Eagles fans. They want the offense to be better. That's more of the reason, more of the evidence why you don't have to hold his jock strap for him. Dank says, can I get a boomer sooner? Dank, I hate to do this. And all the Alabama fans in the chat are going to be upset with me. But, Dank, you did say to me last week, and I did say you were going to have the week up on me this week if you got the win. So I will give you a boomer sooner. Unfortunately, I'll give you a boomer sooner. Sucks. I don't want to do it. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Dank, it was a good win. All right. Dank wants me to fully coerce. Boomer sooner, boomer sooner. Okay, you say it with pride. Dank, you went too far. I will not say it with pride. But it was a good win. And the thing I like about, I always try to be objective about all teams. The thing I like about that team, they're well freaking coached, man. They're well coached. They're physical as hell on defense. They're a good team, dude. In fact, Dank, I actually think they could be a little bit of a juggernaut in the playoffs. I do. I think they could be a juggernaut in the playoffs. All right. I'm gonna go play the Powerball, so I'm allowed to comment on that. It's like what? Underdog. I don't know where some of these people come up with this shit. I mean, nobody's saying I'm more successful than Jalen. I think everybody here can see that I'm nowhere near as successful as Jalen. Great. I'm analyzing the football game. Brian Zander, do you think AJ has lost a step, injured, disinterested, or all the above? I think all the above, but I honestly, Brian, answer me this. Do you think if AJ played in a system, let's just put AJ on the Rams for a second, do you think he would have lost a step if he was in that system? I don't. So I guess that answers my question, that disinterested is more of my comment. If he was with Sean McVay, who makes Puka Nacua the best receiver in football and has 31-year-old Devontae Adams leading the NFL in touchdown receptions, if he was in that system, do you think he would have lost a step? Because I don't. I don't. If you smell what hurts is cooking, ramen noodles. Yeah, but Big Mike, we're not as successful as him, so we can't talk about it. Come on, trucker. Not your best take, my guy. You can only comment on somebody if you make more money than them or more. Yeah, just a dumb way to look at it. But I get it. I mean, people want to give him credit. I mean, he is. He's a successful dude. He's young. He's got a beautiful woman. He's got a beautiful life. He's got a great career. He's got a great salary. He's got endorsement deals. I mean, the guy's got everything. Like I always said to people, like, I don't think he needs you to hold his jock strap for him, bro. I really don't. I think he's okay. AJ's hamstring doesn't magically get stronger in LA. Yeah, Reyes. If it's the hamstring, you're right, but AJ would be a 1,600-yard. I agree 100%. Here's Roll Philly. AJ has definitely lost a step. You can see it in his one-on-ones. He doesn't have the speed to pull away. Roll Philly, you're a Jalen Hurts fanboy. You're obviously going to have a slanted perspective on it because you love Jalen Hurts, which is fine. You're allowed to love Jalen Hurts. I don't care. People can love him. I'm going to criticize him because I don't think he's doing a great job of getting the most out of this offensive talent. I think that's the most uncontroversial comment of the 2025 Philadelphia Eagles. The most uncontroversial comment is that Jalen Hurts is not getting the most out of the talent on the offense. That is a bad take. Love Jalen, of course. By that logic, you can't say he's good because he's more successful. Well, that's fair, but I don't think people are saying that. But I hear what you're saying. ZM says, Xander, did you see the Lions DB coverage stats against AJ? Yeah, I did see them. I love A.J. Brown. I wish it would all come together. I want A.J. to retire an Eagle, but if it's going to be like that, you don't love A.J. though. I've seen your tweets. You can't put shit out publicly, and then when I see them and I know what your perspective is on it, you can't try and change to dismiss what I said. You don't like A.J. this year. You don't like how he's gone to the media. You don't like how he's handled the quarterback. You don't like how he's handled the situation. That has changed your perspective on him. It's fine. Just admit it. Just be honest. Rachel has had some good comments today. Z, that's a fair take. I just wish people would also recognize it's multifaceted issue on offense. I do. I think it is multifaceted. I think it's less multifaceted than some people think, but it's multifaceted. It's football. Rachel, we're talking about football. Football will always, no matter who you're talking about or what you're talking about, be multifaceted. Talk about Tom Brady, it's a multifaceted conversation. Talk about any individual player on offense or defense, it's multifaceted. Talk about Vic Fangio, multifaceted. Talk about Nick, Kellen Moore, Jeffrey, it doesn't matter. Every single conversation is multifaceted. That should come with the territory. That should be just a base level of understanding when you're listening to the shows. I get it. Not everybody's going to have that, but Mr. Spark says it's a team game, so it shouldn't fall all on Hurts. I can't get the 2 drops on the opening drive. They were bad. Yeah. Mister, I think that's fair. Wild Bear's asking the tough question here today. Zay, if you personally had one chance to change something on the offense to make it Super Bowl ready, what would you change? It's a tough question considering that they win at the level that they do. But the offense does stink. So if you could change one thing that's realistic, I'd probably bring back Hurts's usage in the run game. Whether that's RPO, whether it's just more quarterback draws, whether it's more quarterback design runs. I think that's the most realistic thing. That to me is probably the most realistic thing that I would change. Because I'm going to keep it realistic. I'm not going to say something that's not realistic. Z wants to say the QB, but he can't. No, I mean, it's not even that, because at the end of the day, do I have problems with the way Jalen plays? I do. It's not my favorite style of football. It's not my favorite style. I think we waste to some extent the level of talent that we have in Philly. I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't think that. But here's the other thing, HKP, which I can admit very easily. Jalen Hurts is good enough to win a Super Bowl with. We've won a Super Bowl with him. He's good enough to win a Super Bowl with. Clearly, end of sentence. I can acknowledge that. I can easily acknowledge that. Not hard for me to say. So how do we get back to more of the phase of where we can win the Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts? It's not to say he's a perfect quarterback. It's not to say that he's the worst quarterback either. He's not. He's not the best and he's not the worst. And you can win with him. We won with him. We've been to 2 with him. So I honestly, HKPL, I understand where you're coming from. That really wouldn't be what I would say. It wouldn't be my immediate thing. Is sometimes my curiosity going when I wonder what a passer would look like with these weapons? Absolutely, I think about that. Are you kidding me? I think every fan thinks about that, dude. Honestly. I think even the biggest Jalen Hurts fanboys think about that. I truly do. They won't admit it. They'll never admit it. But I think they do. You don't want to see what A.J. Brown would look like with a pass-happy QB? You don't want to see what Devontae Smith would become? The guy won a fucking Heisman when he had a passer. How many receivers have won Heismans in the history of college football? I get it. It's college. But you don't want to see that? I want to see that. I get it. It's not realistic. But different opinions are attacked. No, they're not. They're welcomed and challenged. That's why. How many comments do I bring up of people who disagree with me at the helm? Wake up. Wake up. I bring up people who disagree with me all the time. In fact, most of the comments I bring up are people who disagree. It's called advancing the conversation. adding context, going back and forth, having a healthy debate and a healthy discussion, agreeing to disagree on certain things. These are all things that human beings, once upon a time, were able to do pretty easily. Apparently, we can't do that anymore. You say one thing that the offense is underperforming, and now you're a racist, Jalen hater, Eagle hater, Cowboy fan, all these different things. It's like, come on, bro. It might be time to look at Willie Lampkin. I like Willie Lampkin. I do. Luis. Luis, I'm putting you as a winner of the day. Winner. Luis. Winner of the day. He says, people going to Buttercup. Fuck you, Zander. Well done, Luis. Fuck you too. Well done, Luis. Well done, my friend. I love that. I love that comment. I really do. Here's Blaze. Now that the offense is shit, now people look up his separation stats and say he lost a step. His game was never running away from people. Physical. Facts, Blaze. Very good point. Here's HKP. What up, my boy? All you Hurts Glazers. Imagine being a wide receiver and every week watching the film, your QB keeps missing the same throws and nothing is changing. Yeah, HKP. Anybody that needs to explain to them why the receivers are unhappy in this offense, I honestly don't know if we watch the same game. I really don't. All right. I don't know what they watch. I mean, look, you can say they can be upset and they should just buy in because we're winning. I think that's a fair comment. All right, AJ, I get you're pissed, but shut up, bro. We're winning. I get it. I get that perspective too. But they are, like, this is what John talks about all the time. And he's talked to these receivers off the record. They're okay with us being a run-first team. They know we're a run-first team. Devontae, AJ, both of them, they know it. Their problem is when the opportunities are there and the ball is supposed to come out, it doesn't come out. And that's when AJ gets pissed. Think about it, bro. These guys got what? 6 opportunities a game? 6, 7, 8 opportunities a game? When the ball doesn't come out, they get frustrated. Naturally. Human emotion, you know? Why does JAKIB Sports hate black people? Jake's fan, what are you talking about, dude? Stupid ass comments. I'm done giving these people the time of day. They're no longer being brought up on the show. You know, I used to always pride JAKIB on, like, we never block anybody. But you guys really make it hard. Like, at the end of the day, I invest all my time and money into this channel. I appreciate you for being here, but I'm not going to sit here and allow that type of shit on my platform. I didn't build this platform for somebody else to use it as their soundboard to get off their dumbass comments. Go comment that somewhere else. Bitch. Dumbass comment. They want to troll you. I know they do. I give them a little bit of love. They need it. You know, Island Ultra, sometimes they need it, my friend. You never know what these people need. I hope everybody is good in life. No matter what they look like, what they sound like, what they think. So maybe it helps them to acknowledge them here and there. Maybe it helps them to acknowledge it. Underdog, it's funny. My dad tells me that all the time. He says, you would have thrived back then. Underdog, I know, man. I know. Boda says the more you react, the more they would troll. That's all right, Boda. Comes with the territory, my friend. All right? Comes with the territory. Got to take the good, bad, and different. Like Jalen Hurts said at the podium yesterday, right? Comes with the territory. People are frustrated. It comes with it. I make YouTube content on sports. The most inconsequential thing in our society. Dudes in tights throwing a ball around a field. I'll say that one more time. Dudes in tights throwing a ball around a field. Okay? I'll say it a third time. Dudes in tights throwing a ball around a grass field. And people will still come in here and say this shit. I mean, it is funny as hell, bro. It really is. It's a funny phenomenon. Here's HKP again. All we're saying is throw the damn ball so we can have a larger margin of victory and stop playing these close games. They're open. I agree, HKP. You know, it doesn't – sometimes HKP, I don't think it comes down to being that simple, you know, where you know, there is context. And winning in the NFL is hard. You know, it's hard. So, you know, sometimes I do understand people who are like, bro, you're winning. Like, winning is hard. Wanting to win bigger is sometimes a dumb comment. And I can understand that perspective. I happen to fall in your line where we're just not getting the most out of this offense or even anywhere close to it. All right? Or anywhere close to it. Jay says I'm soft. Jay, I'm a lot of things. Soft isn't one of them. Men aren't men. They're wearing skirts. Pause. I don't know what we're pausing. Dank, Dank, I agree with this 100%. It's funny when you simplify sports. Homo. So true. All right. If AJ leaves next, absolutely Smitty would be wide receiver 1. Oh, you know what I want to talk about? Because John didn't want to talk about it much, but I will talk about it. What'd you guys make of the Deshaun Jackson comments? What'd you guys make of the D-Jax comments? A bunch of Eagles fans DM'd me that yesterday. I think I got like 10 of them. Roll Philly sent me it in the morning, and he was already the third one. All right. Now it's like 10 have sent me it. Jay says, I'm going to be real. When Jody left, this shit became ass. All right, Jason, leave, dude. Nobody's begging you to be here. Oh, wait. You still willingly click on this show. I win. He's right, Z. Something is up. He's adding unnecessary fuel to the fire. All right. Love D-Jax as a player. Me too. Jody Mack's not coming back. His comments, Sean, were... See if I can play him through the mic for you. I'm not going to put the video on screen because I've had a copyright issue in the past with this shit, and I'm not risking my channel to show some shit. I know people want us to play other stuff. It's weird. Other channels do it. I know they do. I don't know if people just hate Jacob, so they try and get us off the air. A lot of people hate Jacob. I love it. I love being the bad guy. I love it. I love that we're not the outlet that everybody comes to get their Eagles glaze. I love it. I love being the bad guy. I love people going all over Twitter saying, Jacob Sports, they're haters. They're haters.
You know, I got to speak to people. But, you know, I'm a realist, and I got to speak the facts. I feel like he's brought a lot of attention upon himself. I think he's a hell of a talent. As a wide receiver, you should want the ball. But when you're in the instance where you're doing these gimmicks or you're out on social media or you're on Twitch, you're saying all this, it brings more attention to you, right? And if you're going to bring the attention to you, that means you have to be on your game that much more. Your game got to be superior. Your game got to be top tier. And I feel like the attention he's allowed himself to bring to now, it's like it's a few passes that are thrown his way, one-on-one coverage, and he's giving up and he's not running full speed. Like all that stuff you probably could have got away with if you didn't bring all this attention to yourself. But now it's like we see it all. And as you could tell, it's something else going on. And I got a great relationship with him. I respect him. I can't say it, but I know it's something else going on. That it's not all about football. It's not about X's and O's. I've had situationships with quarterbacks that I didn't necessarily like. And I'm going to just be honest. And when it ain't there, it sticks out like a sore thumb. That's all I'm going to say. I think.
Couple different ways to look at that. All right. First comment he's making is about A.J. Brown. All right. First, like 40 seconds of that minute clip are about A.J. Brown. All right. A.J. Brown's not running his routes the same. If you're going to bring a bunch of attention to the offense, you got to be able to, you got to show it. You got to take your game to the next level if you're going to do that. So that was the first part. I think the second part is what people are more interested in because people love drama. I don't know why they do, but they love drama. And he said, there's something there that's more than football. There's something there that's more than X's and O's. I'm not going to speak on it. He insinuated he knew what it was. He did not speak on it and said he will not speak on it, which I get. But look, I hate that. I'm not going to lie to you. I will talk about football. I will chirp at players. I will say people who I don't think are living up to it. I hate the area of sports talk where we talk about this personal shit. I hate it. I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know what AJ and Jalen's relationship is. How the fuck do I know? And how am I supposed to comment on that? Like, I don't know. So it's one area I don't like talking about. But I will say this from an objective point of view. There's now been a lot of these comments that have come out. And they're only so how many sources do we have to say they're wrong? You know, like a lot of people are now reporting similar things or saying similar things in different ways, in different areas at different times, but it's stacking up now. I don't think you can just like act like it doesn't exist anymore, you know? So I don't know what to make of it. I don't know. But that were his comments. Could you guys hear him? I think you could hear him, right? So Mr. Sparks says, it sounds like someone flirted with, hey, maybe, man. I don't know. Mr. Sparks, that's also the reason I don't like speculating. Like, what am I going to do? Sit up here and speculate that there's a woman problem with them? Aren't they both married men? Aren't they both married men? Now, I get it. Football players, I get it. Believe me, I understand. You guys are going to say, who cares if they're married? You know. Right? It's not everybody are Catholic like us, man. All right? We don't do that. We don't do that side piece. I got one woman, and I'm perfectly happy being loyal and in love with my woman. That's it. I don't need other shit. I'm a loyal guy. Now, back in the youngster days, maybe a different story. But I don't know. I get it. People speculate on that. Steve Smith don't care. No, he doesn't. It's pointless to speculate what it was about. The point is they definitely, yeah, agreed, Rachel. Good point. Good point. The point is they definitely don't seem to be close anymore. I agree. Unless it's Carrie Underwood. Nah, I would not. That's not true. Not true. Helm says that AJ stuff's getting old fast. What point is enough? Agreed. All right. Smoke, fire. Facts, underdog. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Roll Philly says, so when I say AJ gives up on play, I didn't call you a dumbass for that. I said you're right. The only thing that John disagreed with was that players never give up on plays. Like he covered Randy Moss. He's like, dude, Randy Moss gave up on so many plays. Like that's just kind of a trait of these receivers, you know? So I don't know. Yeah, Dank, I'm not convinced it's over a woman either, but Dank, we're men, bro. Not all of us. Rachel's in here. A couple women are in here. Bird Gang girls in here, maybe. All right. My girl Wild Bears are in here, you know. So I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, man, it's like success, money, and women. It's like, dude, this has been going back. Like, forget the modern era. Forget the modern world we live in. Like, we're talking about thousands of years. This is what men have fought over. Bro, men in the old days, they would kill a motherfucker over a woman. All right? You understand? They would kill a motherfucker over a woman. So, I get why people go there. I do get why people go there. Chicks are the downfall of every fool. No doubt, man. Lust. This is why I say, get off the corn! Get off it! All of you, off it. I'm telling you. They still kill over women. Yeah, you're right. Lesser extent today, but still happens. Even in the Dak, no doubt, my friend. No doubt. Maybe even more prominent there. King David lost his mind, no doubt. Woman weakened legs, no doubt. I hear y'all. Believe me. I hear you guys. I get it. That shit fucked your head up. Also, yeah, HKP. I've been saying that. HKP, I put that in my group chat when I was 16 years old in my high school group chat. If you would have saw the way I got flamed in that group chat, I was 16 years old. I was blessed enough to have a cousin who is about 5 years older than me. And when I was 15 in high school, we lived together in the summer. I went to the gym every day with him. He was like a bodybuilder type of guy. He was in the competitions and shit at the time. Legendary dude. But I'll never forget that. He told me that summer, and he explained it to me to the point where I realized real quick how awful that shit is for dudes. Awful. It's awful. So I was blessed enough to be that young and learn that lesson. And when I put it in my group chat, high school group chat, get off the corn, every one of you. They flamed me for weeks, months. Flamed me. Grateful I never went down that road. World War I was started over that. Correct, Jay. Look, Jay was just saying, I want Jody back. Why are you still here then? The Bible is a good Mayan. What are you talking about, bro? Come on, Mayan. Mayan always coming in with some bullshit. Alfredo says, can't let the woman come between the brotherhood, man. Don't let the cookie distract you. The cookie. Rachel, is this too much of a men's locker room now, Rachel? Rachel, have I turned this into a men's locker room? I apologize, Rachel. Oh, man. That's funny. Eve convinced Adam to fuck over all of humanity over one piece of fruit. Didn't even bake the man a pie with it. Underdog spitting fire. Underdog spitting fire today. As always. As always. All right. As always. That's funny, man. That is funny. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with AJ and Jalen. I wish they were still buddy. You go watch the 22 highlights, dude. Those dudes love each other. They were happy. They were fucking loving it. They were clapping. They were clapping with each other. They were dancing with each other on the sideline. They were doing all that stuff, man. I mean, they loved it. Abe, that is the best comment. That is so true, Abe. And anybody who gets it knows that. Okay. I thought we were a team willing to stay and put in the work after hours. Not hearing any reports of this happening scares me. Yeah, I don't know. I think they work. I don't think that's the problem. Jay says you're the best. No, Jay, don't glaze me now. No, that's too fake for me. You literally just said you wanted to bring back the old host of Birds 365 because you didn't like me enough. Don't come in here and start glazing. I'm the best reporting on the Eagle. Jay, you've lost that privilege for the day. Come on, Jay. AJ and Hurt should go to couples therapy. Okay. All right. I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to do a drawing. Oh, shit. It's going to take me forever, isn't it? It's going to take me forever, isn't it? Roll says, yeah, I think it's 100% fair today. We can't win a Super Bowl if Jalen plays like the last two games. But if he plays like Giants and Vikings, he will win easily, barring major injuries. Well, I said that earlier. Like, I there's not everything about Jalen I don't love. But, like, Roll Philly, I always do try and be fucking honest. Like, we won a damn Super Bowl with the guy. We can win a Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts. We can win a Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts. We need a lot of other stuff, I think. We need a great defense. We need to go, the running game we had last year. So, I think you're going to need a little bit more on offense this year. But I'm also being a little bit swayed by the ability of this defense to just knock-off offenses, man. I get it. The weather was a factor, but I don't think it was a factor to the tune of holding Detroit to 9 points. I don't think it was a factor to the tune of holding Detroit to 9 points, dude. 9 points? That's crazy. That is crazy. 9 points. That team is averaging 31 points a game coming in. That team is almost record. They're close to probably in one of the top offenses of all time. Maybe not the top, but up there. We held them to 9 points. You want me to believe that's all weather? I get it. Weather was a factor, but I'm starting to believe this defense can literally be so good. I mean, if you're knocking offenses off to that level, your offense doesn't have to be that great. I think they got to be a little better, but Penei Sewell was getting cooked. Facts. Should have only been 6 points. Correct. Z, they had golf in hell. Agreed, Island. Agreed, brother. Agreed, my man. I mean, they were torturing that team. So I am kind of starting to be convinced, as I said on Monday when I said I'm enlightened, I don't know, maybe me wanting the offense to be better is simply just my want. The Rolling Stones song. You can't always get what you want. Maybe that's where we are on this offense, man. I saw this, HKP. I retweeted it. Underdog, you didn't see that? I saw it. Random ass post. Post. Rachel says, all players are a different animal. I think offense has to improve to make it back. I don't know, dude. What is playoff football? Think about it. What is playoff football? What is playoff football? What is playoff football? Defense is more important in playoff football, in my opinion, than offense. Defense is more important in playoff football. So, Rachel, I understand where you're coming from because playoffs, the margins get smaller, the game plans change. It's a different brand of football. But part of me still believes that the way the Eagles play is actually conducive to that. Defense and run game. So run game's not there, which is a little bit of a concern. But I don't know, dude. That's what I mean. Underdog. Playoff football is controlling the trenches. I feel pretty good about that D-line. Offensive line, yeah, we got some questions there. I think we got some questions there, offensive line-wise, but I don't know. Scoring is at a premium, and Dank, that's my point. If we can hold these teams to, a touchdown or two, 14 points, 16 points, 17 points, that's what we did last year. That's how good our defense was last year. I'm pulling the member list. Just give me a second, everybody. I'm trying to talk while I pull it so I don't bore you. So no, Big Mike, it's not ADHD. Shut your bitch ass up. Okay, Big Mike? Okay, Big Mike? You got me, brother? I don't want to bore the great people of JAKIB Nation. I don't think I'm very boring. Am I boring? You guys think I'm boring? John sometimes can be a little boring, but that's part of what makes John great. Boring, consistent, steady, even-keeled. I think that's why people love John. Honestly, that's my belief of why people love John. I don't think I'm boring, though. Maybe I am. I don't know. You guys tell me. You're the watchers. I just sit up here and ramble. I'm hard on myself, too. I was messaging my boy with Sig Lord the other day about that. Sometimes I think I got to get way better. Sometimes I'm like, I'm ass at this, man. I got to get better. I got to work on my game. I got to improve. All right. I got to get better. Yeah, you're boring. Thanks, bro. Boring as hell. Thank you, Lucius. Appreciate you. You're not boring at all. Thanks, Mr. Parks or Smarks. All right. LMFAO, ADHD. Come on, man. Come on. Boring as hell. Danny, you're doing great. Thanks, Abe. I don't need to be buttered up, bro. All right. I don't need to be buttered up. In fact, I prefer to not be buttered up. You got to start doing research, LOL. Roll Philly. I forgot about that. This guy's fucking in my DMs at 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, bro, I spoke to you enough today. I'm done with you for the day, Roll. Roll, save your shit for the morning, please. Pretty funny. All right, I got the YouTube members. Let me get the website members. Give me a second. You'll make it. I got to get Tyler Braswell a jersey. I got to get my boy Braswell a jersey. I owe Brad. Braswell is a legendary supporter. Braswell, if you're listening, I do hope you know that I do appreciate you, bro. Some people are just really good, really epic supporters, man. You know, JAKIB has largely become a fan-funded outlet, which is important to note, but I like it that way better because then I'm not beholden to anybody. I don't have to lie about shit. I don't have to go a certain way. You know, so I've always preferred that to be the outcome. So I do appreciate people who have been here for a long time. Lucius is a big member. Tyler Braswell has been a member for a long time. Jason A-Team, massive supporter of the channel, multi-legend member, longest standing legend member. We got a lot of great supporters, man. We do. Which is appreciated. We got a lot of haters too. We got a lot of haters too, man. We got a lot of haters too. We got a lot of haters too. Curtis, don't make me go down that road, please, bro. I'd love to get Janky Rondo on the show. I don't know. He's big time, man. He might be too big. He might say, fuck you, man. I'm bigger than your ass. That's all right. I would love to talk to him, though. I think he's an awesome content creator. I really do. I think he's hilarious. I like people who are different. I really do. I like people who are different. You know? I really do. I like people who are different. I think he does a really good job. I really do. I think he's funny as hell. I really do. I think he's so funny. All right, here we go. Give me a second. Hang in there, everybody. Hang in there, everybody. I'm getting there. All right, I got to drop off one of these folks. CZ's there. A-Team's there. Caesar. Gary. Kimberly. Jason's there. Braswell's there. Braswell, thanks, bro. B. Howe's there. CZ. TK's there. Derek Epps. Russell Clements there. Berghorst is there. All right. Philly Don is not. All right, that's fine. That's my name to remove. Let's go to fan. Give me a second, everybody. I'm sorry. I got to give me a second here. All right. Give me a second. 13. 1, 2, 3. All right. So one off. Keith. Curtis is there. What up, Curtis? Kelly. All right. I got to get this is a new list. Let me get this. All right. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. All right. All right. One more. One more. You guys will make it. I promise. I promise you'll make it. Dank, calm down the chat, will you? All right, Dank, I need you. I don't know why I called on Dank, but that's just the name that came to mind. You guys know that I love the great people of JAKIB Nation, even the haters. The haters sometimes I love even more, as weird as that might sound. Sometimes I love the haters even more. You know, what fun is it to have a bunch of glaze fest all day? I don't think that's fun. I don't think that's a good time. All right, I got the list. Now I got to put it into ChatGPT. Might take me a little bit longer. My phone's going to go from 100 to 1%. Oh my gosh, roll Philly. You have an unbelievable ability to fucking whine. Deshay says, stop Brown Nose Zander and spin the wheel. Deshay, guess what, dickhead? I just removed you from the giveaway wheel. Yep. Cry about it, bitch. Well done, Deshay. You cis pop bitch. That's what you get, Deshay. That's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you get, motherfucker. Xander's acting like he's redacting the Epstein list. Hey, what's going on with that Diddy stuff? A lot of diddler there. Dank says, me? Yeah, you, Dank. No, the other Dank in here. It's probably your new name, Blaze. I just pulled the list today, my friend. No, dude, ChatGPT sucks now. Truly, truly sucks. It is a catastrophe. I fucking hate it. Doesn't work anymore. Make an Excel. Hey, but changes every day, bro. Members join and drop. They join and they drop. ChatGPT blows. It really blows. I'm done using it. I got to go use Gemini or something. I get Gemini with my business email and stuff. I got a new member? Oh, you got to be kidding me. At the hell? Oh, look, I bullied you into a membership. No, Reyes, it's not it. You know what I think my problem is, Reyes? I think it's too full. I got too much data in there, I think. Honestly. Because it's not that it's not smart, and I know how to prompt it very well. I know how to prompt it very well. You know? I think it's just I got too many it's not the members. It's more about I've just been talking to the thing for so long. I don't know. I don't really talk to it. I just I need it for business stuff. Like I'll put in a title and say, can I get a good description? Something like that. All right, I got the list. Who's ready? Who is ready? I know you're ready. I know you've been waiting. Jersey giveaway. You got to be present. Don't hit me with the bullshit. Yeah, roll Philly. Our revenues go way down in the offseason. Absolutely. Absolutely. They go way down. It's tough. It's tough. It's a tough challenge. You know, got to budget properly. You got to. Yeah, it's a tough challenge, no doubt. All right, here we go. I got the member list. Here we go. I'll hit you with a Dak Prescott. Here we go. I'm ready. SpongeBob. That's funny. Roll Philly says, I won't bail. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you, Roll Philly. I actually like you because you're a Jalen Glazer, but you admit it and you're open about it and you push back on things you believe need pushing back on, but you're still willing to have the conversation, which I appreciate. All right, here we go. Here is the website, Jersey giveaway. Here's our participants. Abe's in there, government name and all. Holy shit, Abe. Sorry, dude. Sorry, Abe. I didn't mean to do it that way. Xander, that's funny. It was in fact not funny. Yes, it was, dickhead. Don't fucking tell me what's funny and what's not. Who are you, the arbiter of humor? Is that what made? Who are you? The arbiter of all things funny? The fuck? Oh, wait. What kind of member did At the Helm become? At the Helm Outdoors. From a dusty gray to a non-dusty gray. All right. What kind of member did he become? A fan? Thank you. All right. He's in there. Here we go. One shuffle for Jalen Hurts. All right. Here we go. You got to be present. You must be present. My boy Flex, is he here? Is my boy Flex in here? Is he here? Come on, Flex. Come on, Flex. Is he out there? Is he out there? Flex is not here. Flex is getting a text. Give him the Hurts jersey. Flex is asleep. I don't think he's asleep, bro. Flex is not asleep. Flex sleeping off those Mountain Dews and Takis. 1 minute. Uh-oh. Everybody's going to be mad. Flexion's a working man. He's not asleep. Flex is making some of that moolah. Sig Lord's calling him. Give him a call. Who you going to call? Ghostbusters. Get him out of here. Uh-oh. I'm always conflicted when a great member wins, and I want them to win. But I must remain a man of my word. I must remain a man of my word. Give him a Dak jersey. I got the Dak jersey for Roll Philly, actually. I got a Dak jersey for Roll Philly. delivering on Friday because he's going to the game on Sunday. What happened to the dictatorship, Jason? There he is! Ah! The greatness of flexing and stepping. Flex ain't out of here. Nothing. Flex, they were trying to use the get them out of here on you. Oh, my. Holy shit. Flexing shows up. They can't use my lines on me. Roll Philly, keep an eye out for the mail. Your Dak Prescott jersey delivers tomorrow. All right? All right? That is classic. Flex, I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up. Oh, yo, Dan Cilio's got Michael Irvin on today. Oh, wait. I think Lord Brunson was posting yesterday that Cilio's a racist. Let him get on one of his best friends from college, Michael Irvin, on the show today. For free, by the way. We don't pay these guests. Michael Irvin coming on in the afternoon show. Ha! Let Lord Brunson tell it, though. Cilio made a dumb comment in 2012, and he should be removed from society. Okay. 2012, removed from society. Because I know all of you people are all great, upstanding people who have never said one thing that would be offensive to any individual, right? Is that right? Did I get that right? Did I do that right? Michael Irvin on the show today. I love when Michael Irvin comes on, man. All right, Flex. Congrats on the giveaway, my guy. All right. Yeah, HKP. Very true. I don't really get that. Z, go ahead and send that Dak jersey. I need some extra toilet paper. You're going to clog the toilet, my guy. Come on. Come on. You got a plumber on speed dial? All right. Flex, love you, brother. Appreciate your support of the channel as always, my man. Appreciate your Flex. This was first drawing today. Flex, this was first drawing today. All right. This was first drawing today. So, fire Sills. I ain't firing Sills. We got people coming, though. I saw one guy made a new account, and now he's commenting on like every Eagles account on Twitter. Please go report the YouTube channel so they get taken off YouTube. Go report them. I'm like, what the fuck? You people are goofy as hell, man. You people are goofy as hell. Nah, it'll be good. I hear it tears apart under. That's a good one, Roll Philly. That's a good one. Yes, Tyler, I'm getting you the 2XL. All right. I'm getting you it. All right. Love you guys, man. I love all you guys. Good Zander time today. Please, I appreciate all the pushback. I appreciate people that support the content, people who don't. All right. All I ask is that you be reasonable and don't be a victim all the time. Okay. So love all you guys, man. Hit that like button on your way out. Hopefully we get some good amount of likes here today on the show. Love you too, HKP. My man, appreciate you, brother. See you next time, everybody. Congrats to Flex and Tyler Braswell.
You've been listening to Birds 365, the destination for the passionate Eagles football fan who bleeds green. If it's Eagles football, We're talking about it, debate, inside the locker room, and guests that are some of the greatest football minds from around the region. We hope you enjoyed the show. We know we had a blast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hook up with us on social media at JAKIB Sports. See you next time on Birds 365.